まさに滅びの災いと呼ぶにふさわしいわ。終わりなき苦痛と消えることのない呪い。
だからよそ者なんて信用するなって言ったんじゃないか。
そして救世主の誕生。
運命の食器はついに役目を果たしたの。アビス教団の名は知ってたが、これほど大規模で広範囲な動きを見せるのは初めてだ。まるでナタ相手に戦争を仕掛けようとしてるような。
宇宙船スリープポット？まさかお前がテイラントに来た時に乗ってた宇宙船のことか？
この数ヶ月の間で42の星が消えた。何者かがずうずうしくもこの世界から吸い取っているのだ。
災いはいつか必ず訪れる。みんなもそう言ってるわ。
彼女の存在を無視し続けたら、いつか本当に彼女の声が聞こえなくなってしまうからね。
すぐそこにいるじゃない。
お前の魂は欠けていて、傷口にはアビスに侵食された跡が見られる。アビスの力の使い方を学ぶつもりもないのなら、私が代わりに調べるしかない。無に帰せ。この手に烈空、星々よ静かに眠れ。
はじめまして、私はダリア。セピロス教会の女祭で風神バルバトスの伝道師です。面白くなってきた。風神様のお告げです。
私の夜はここで終わる。だがお前の旅はまだまだ続く。
お前は私の師匠極悪鬼スルトロッチを知っているのだろう。
戦線は総崩れだ。
真っ向の剣ダインスレイブ。これがお前の望んだことか。
お兄ちゃんはいつも運命を変えようとしてる。でも今回は何としても止めてみせる。
よくやったスカーク。今回も生き残れたか。
今もなお運命の食器は動いているのか。
なぜお前が鈍性のクジラの剣能を持っている。
するとロッチ
経緯などとうの昔に消え去った。貴様の傲慢さと邪悪さに気づいた時にな。
500年前にお兄ちゃんと再会する機会を逃すわけにはいかないから。
いずれ本物の宇宙に帰るだろう。
旅の終点で2人の新たな始まりが待ってる。
Nodcry, an ever-changing landscape of ruin, a marvel corroded by time. In the forest, where the nights were once undisturbed save for a few rays of moonlight, the wild hunt's shadow grows. There are those who bear the name of Frostmoon, living where the silver light shines. Others carry the torch, fending off the darkness and cold with their blades. I hear that the snow and fae still yearn for the frosts of old, while the Fatui look to the stars above, trying in vain to seize the false firmament. Then there are the nights, draped in the west wind, nearing the end of a long and arduous mission. My friends, of course, shan't be outdone. They will no doubt bring a magical charm to this edge of the world. And just as the stone craves the sculptor's hand, so does fate await your gaze. Pour me another cup of tea, if you'd be so kind. The story is about to begin.
Hello, good morning, evening, or night, depending on where you're tuning in. Welcome to the AstraNox Invitational Elimination Stage. I am Fufu, I'll be your host for today, and along with me, there is my fellow caster, Summation. How are you today?
Hello, everybody. Whether your planet has a day or night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, I am doing absolutely great after being taxied for 20 minutes to get here. You can tell that I'm really dedicated.
Oh my god, well, honestly, with some of the peak stuff we saw yesterday in absolute cinema that happened, I would not want to miss it either. But it was not just yesterday. Today we have some amazing and interesting games to show all of you, especially because we will also be watching the winners bracket, not just the losers. So it's nice to see that not everyone who loses today will be leaving us, but before we start any of that and show you what we have, we do have to thank our sponsors.
Yep, AstraNox Invitational is sponsored by ShiningSoul. What's ShiningSoul again? Damn, I forgot the script!
Don't worry about it, I got you. So, first and foremost, the tournament is sponsored by ShiningSoul, as you heard. We'd like to let you know that the second set of the ShiningSoul Genshin Genius Invocation TCG cards are now on sale. You can purchase the brand new in-stock cards at the official Genshin Impact store or ShiningSoul official store in Taobao. Collect the Genius Invocation TCG cards, gather your friends, and let the duels begin. AstraNox Invitational is exclusively sponsored by ShiningSoul, so we do have to give them thanks for letting us have this amazing tournament.
Indeed. Oh, I can't believe I forgot just how generous they are with our tournament today. Really, it could not have happened.
We would not have seen Crab fight Hu Tao on one card yesterday without them, so do make sure that if you want some cards, you know exactly what to get them.
Quite indeed. Right, as Fufu has kindly taken on my sponsorship shout. Right, our event for today will be the elimination stage of AstraNox Invitational, where the 12 players who have advanced from the Prince and Fonta regional qualifiers will compete in a double elimination format to determine their final tournament place. Matches leading up to the grand final will be best of 5 conquest bands, and the grand final will be best of 7 conquest with bands.
Of course. And yeah, naturally, so if you were there yesterday, you already know how the drill goes, but for those who missed it, let me introduce you back to the rules. So, unlike the previous stages, this one is a best of 5 format. It is still conquest, meaning that both players will bring 4 decks and 1 will be banned. Conquest format means that you do need to win with every single deck you brought. So, the strategies might differ a little bit in ways where you can see which is your opponent's weakest deck and deal with that one, or get rid of their strongest one, but that is the basic rule set of it. You have 3 decks, and you do need to win with all 3 of them.
Yes, you cannot simply bring any old deck. You have to be confident that all 4 decks of yours will be able to defeat anything that comes your way.
Exactly. And now you can see the schedule right here. We have had 2.5 almost weeks of grueling stages that got players to this spot where they're going to be fighting and making sure that their deck building, their strategizing, their playmaking is better. And of course, we would not want to miss any of that. So as you can see, we will be live all week here on YouTube, on Bilibili if you want to watch the CN broadcast, and of course on Twitch, while Twitter and YouTube will post updates so everyone gets included and knows exactly what they are, even if you missed the first day.
Yes, if you do not want to miss out, make sure to follow us and follow AstraNox Invitational on those channels. Yep. As for the event prizes, the bottom places have been eliminated and 12 people remain. From the 9th to 12th places, we will have 160 Chinese yuan as a prize money. 7th to 8th place receives 320 yuan. 5th to 6th place receives 480 yuan. 4th place receives 640 yuan. 3rd place receives 960 yuan. 2nd place receives 1280 yuan. And the 1st place receives 3,200 Chinese yuan. But it's not just there that we end on the price. After all, we also have physical TCG prize money from ShiningSoul themselves. Are they colorful, my friend?
Look at them. I was talking about this yesterday so much, but I love the sleeves. I love the boxes. I love the dice. It looks so nice. I want it. Can I have some? I want some, please. Please, ShiningSoul sponsor me as well. Sponsor my wallet, thank you. I would appreciate it.
Maybe.
But let's not miss out on just that, because you can see that today we have some interesting matches to go through. First and foremost, we will be going back to the losers, and we will be watching Taobao versus Red Wa. How do you feel about this? I mean, both of these players I am at least somewhat familiar with, but unfortunately, one of them will be leaving today, so it's gotta be a rough spot.
Taobao has qualified from the Prince bracket, so we are very, very familiar with him.
Exactly. That will not be all of it, though, because...
Right. Let us reintroduce our players for a moment, both old players and new players. Taobao is the Busan WCG 2023 GITCG World Champion, the Spring Genius Invocation Tournament Champion, and has double golden card packs from 2 regions. He is quite literally a powerhouse.
And is happy to meet us, as you can see right here. Unfortunately, he does have the dice cringe tag on him, so I hope he does a bit better than that. But his favorite deck does seem to be Mew with Chong, so how bad can it be, you know? I'm sure he'll bring it, right?
Yep. Maybe. Right. Oh, maybe I'm not so sure about that. Red Y's favorite deck is Pyro Kaching, which is, as it happens to be, he's the character that's the main character in my most favorite deck. Alright, but regardless of favorite deck, Red Y is also in top 128 times in Fonta Cup and Dynamic Cup, as well as the version 4.4 and version 5.2 Skyfrost Nail Cup runner-up. And
yeah, as you can see, these things you might say runner-up and stuff, but realistically, sometimes it just does come down to small differences between winning and not. So this player is definitely not to be overlooked by any means, and I'm sure we'll see him put up an amazing performance. As long as you can see, he's also the Dice Master himself. So Dice Cringe versus Dice Master? All I'm saying is, the luck might be on one person's side. One person is a lot more confident than Dice here.
Yep, all or nothing, as a gambler might say.
Oh, and we get to see the decks. What a setup. So, as we're waiting for the players to bed, we can also look and see that decks are quite similar. Okay, Zhongli going down on one side. Red White does have their own Zhongli, but with Kokomi and Kachina taken down on the other. Now the balance is a bit uprooted. Let's see. How do we feel about it?
Yep, all three of... Well, Toshabao's Kachinavia and Hu Tao Kachinavia deck does seem to be quite favorable into a lot of things on the opposing side, but all three of them seem to have a characteristic of being overly HP taught. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As you can see it, but go ahead.
Yep, and Xinyan might just completely destroy Kachina before she gets to pop off too much.
Yeah, we do definitely have to see that. Xinyan coming out first though against Hu Tao. Hu Tao does definitely have that slower playstyle, but it does also have only one character that really cares about being attacked or not, and the reactions might just not be able to pull that off depending on how they maneuver around it. This is definitely going to be like a maneuvering type of game where we have to see what happens, but yeah, Xinyan will definitely get her setup going and everything, and it will be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, they're both decks that don't care what their opponent does, especially with Hu Tao, where you only really need Hu Tao to get the things going. and the rest of the party are just to deal with the side weaknesses of the deck that have been mitigated already.
Yeah, and you can see the controlled blast we saw yesterday being played in decks to get rid of mostly Zhongli summons, but in this particular case, I'm trying to think, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to have much of a role in it, outside from like taking one maybe usage from the Yai summon, meaning that maybe she doesn't get to proc it twice in certain spots, but that's going to be a little bit rough. Again, Zhudong seems to be a stay of the deck, as we can see, because almost every Hu Tao we saw so far has brought Zhudong with them. It's just nice. Once you have enough 2-cost foods, you can just play Zhudong and be happy with it, which is nice. He hasn't seen much spotlight before, so I'm happy to see him go off.
Yeah, Zhudong alongside the Dunya Mao package is quite special at spamming foods all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the card that makes the entire deck work is the spear, but then we also get to see, oh, what a list. I mean, it makes sense with Xian Yun, but it's so interesting. You see the two arcanes, both ready to do their own thing, depending on if it's an aggressive or passive matchup you're up against. And we're about to see how that will be maneuvered exactly as the game is starting. Oh my god! The arcane has been played. Stuff is going down. They weren't ready for it. The damage is already set up on one side of the field. Oh my god, so much happened.
The players are zooming, my people. Right, it appears that we have missed the entirety of round 1, so let me try to recap what just happened. It appears that Dojabao has placed down like a lot of summons that looks to be about support cards that looks to be Cookie Elemental Skill into full ramp, and place the Red White plays the Arcane card that is of the Nadland region, alongside some Xinyan setup, and that seems to have caught us up to where we are now.
But you can see that they also played the, the Miko summons, so those are on the field. Oh, an instant fast swap. What are we getting here?
Right, Dojabao has played Day of Resistance on Hu Tao and decides to swap off to her immediately, maybe trying to use her to tank all of the attacks that would be coming in round 2.
Yeah, and we'll also see the overload here, causing your opponent to have a bit of a harder time. Now, in theory, you could Xinyan skill here into Signora skill, which would be a melt and everything, but you need exact dice for that, and there is a very decent chance that your opponent was not ready to get overloaded off. So we will see how this goes. Oh, a defensive switch over to Miko. That makes sense. Now you have your burst ready, and even though it might do less damage because of the Day of Resistance, it is still a good chunk onto Hu Tao if they do decide to remain there.
Indeed. It's now Dojabao's turn to act, and the swap off of Xinyan is probably because you really don't want her to go too low on HP from the onset. Dojabao immediately switches off to Venti for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Now we see the swap. We want to be defensive. We don't want to get that Miko burst on us. Yes, it does proc our Maheshosei pretty favorably, but we don't have the spear yet, so it doesn't actually do as much as we would like for it. The fast swap onto Hu Tao does present a bit of damage, but we don't really have a problem of going Venti here and using our skill, because now our opponent either has to burst Venti or go back to Xinyan and give us that free tasty swirl. It seems like they will do neither and just head off to Signora.
Right, and Dojabao switches back to Hu Tao, a swap stalling technique. Right, let's see what Dojabao is trying to achieve with that. I think the eventual decision is that Dojabao has to end on Hu Tao somewhat, because of the Day of Resistance. You really do not want to lose value on that.
Yeah, and we can see Hu Tao is probably the one getting fed here. It's probably going to take some damage resistance or extra HP or anything along those lines. But he's thinking on it, which makes me think that he might have not rolled exactly what he wanted. And from that point, it's a little weird. You do have these two dice. One can be fed by Liben, but you don't know exactly what you want. Okay, yeah, the second effect coming down. pretty good, pretty good. We might just stay here. Unfortunately, we are
do
not.
I wonder what this means.
Well, threatening a Venti skill here is not very likely, judging by the fact that you are only on 1 dice and you already spent your Judong. But
Yep.
it's just spreading the damage around. That's fair. I respect that. It's
Here
also the
comes
potential
the-
of switching, making sure that you don't get reacted on, because Xianyun does only do physical. Now you will take 1 reaction and get swapped off, but your cookie does always live because of it.
Xinjiang, not Senjun.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh my. I can't talk. It's okay.
It's fine though. Xinjiang and Senyun has been both in the meta multiple times, and it has caused quite the confusion when
Oh
it
my.
comes to casting.
It's not super surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, indeed. We see the dice coming down. We see the setup. Cookie is alive on that 1 HP. And we have drawn both of our spears. Okay, it's time for rightful reward. It's time for some cheesing energy. Yep.
On the other hand, Red Y is really showing the title of the Dice Master here with a 6 Omni to Pyro on Xinyan.
Oh
That's
my god.
big.
That is beautiful. But a second fast swap has come down, and Hu Tao is immediately headed to speedrun this burst and try to take out as many units as she can.
Yes, but on the other hand, now Red Y knows that Taobao is out of fast swaps.
Exactly. And this turn is going to be probably fairly devastating. You can do 3 actions if you decide that one of them is going to be a normal attack because of the gladiators in hand. So even if you swap, you will have that 1 extra dice. Or you can just do 3 actions on Signora. Like, the options are there. You do have the summon and the follow-up attack in the back coming, or not the follow-up attack, but the end phase attack coming from Xinyan. So Xinyan, it's fine. Don't worry. I got this. I caught myself this time.
On the other hand, Red Y is probably struggling to decide on an action due to the fact that Hu Tao's on field, and you really want to get Hu Tao off the stage, but on the other hand, you really cannot risk much of your units.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
all, there's 20 around to wait for the swirl if the death swap happens, and there's Cookie in the back.
Yeah, exactly. And you swap to that, you swap to Miko so you can threaten the Hu Tao, so you make them swap off. But honestly, going to Venti and getting a non-swirl skill is not even the worst thing in the world. They are more than fine taking that. They're more than fine just setting up this Hu Tao burst and being ready. And now, we see maneuvering. The Xinyan is on 3 HP, making her not susceptible to Venti's damage. And then, it comes back to Hu Tao.
Right, it's now in Xinyan's turn, and right.
Exactly. Now the question is, what exactly do you want to do here? You definitely have more dice than your opponent, so you can set stuff up. You also know that 2 of your attacks, at least 1 overload, is coming down at the end of it, no matter what you do. So maneuvering around is quite nice, and both of your other units do have a lot to give. The Signora definitely has a lot of reactions to put down, and the Miko does have her burst ready, and the summon is still up. So it really does depend on how you want to go about it. Now, technically, keeping the Miko burst for later will lose you less stacks of your summon, but also just firing it off and getting massive damage in before your opponent can set up it's not to be scoffed at. It is quite the play.
Yeah. Right now, I'm eyeing something like Xinyan Elemental Skill into Yai Burst, because
Very possible.
I think that will do the most damage to Dojabao structure. But
Exactly. It's 2 big overloads coming down. And you can see here, Hu Tao is getting set up, but are you going to spend this ultimate on her? You might.
Yeah,
have exactly 3 dice,
Yep, that specific course of action might be playing out right now with Hu Tao rebounding back with her elemental burst that she freshly got from the rightful reward.
Oh, but we a swap to Signora, who does have gladiators, but you definitely want to skill here instead. Get that reaction going and set up a lot of elements. You're probably saving, yeah, this Miko burst. You might even swap to Miko here to save up a die and then immediately burst out of the next round, because losing one summon is still +1 in damage overall, because the follow-up attack on Miko does 3 and the summon only does 2.
Yeah, right here Toshapao switches to Cookie, probably trying to sacrifice her. But that, yep, because that would result in only the cryo aura on Hu Tao. And if Red White goes to Yai here, then Tojapao will get to end round first and get started on Hu Tao before Red White could react.
Yeah, exactly. And you do keep in mind the end phase damage coming from Xinyan. Oh, we do actually. We do actually set it up so we get the overload immediately. We're not keeping the pyro for later. These reactions are going to be enough. And this is quite nice because you will always get a reaction going here. If you do want to burst, you can kill Venti. But that is, some would say a waste, but maybe not exactly the right word. It's just costly to not have the pyro burst on Signora later.
Yeah, especially when you're at full HP, you really do not want to burst with Signora.
Exactly. But let's see the dice. It seems like Rashabao is getting nice dice, but the dice master himself is struggling a bit more. It's fine though. Kid Kujarai is giving us exactly what we want, which, one Omni is always nice. I will always accept it.
And Red White has run into a strategize, so that's more cards to tune if needed.
Exactly. With 9 dice and 1 gladiator sitting about, we can do stuff here. Also an NSC in hand, so maybe we'll see a surprising amount of NAs coming this turn, especially with the simple fact that your dice are not as good as you would want them to be.
Yep.
Oh, the burst is coming down. We will take another unit down with us, switch over to Pyro, probably get a exact vaporize, or rather melt reaction here. Unless Hu Tao can stop us, but she doesn't actually have anything unless she can get her burst going. Which, to be fair, if Hu Tao could somehow set up her burst here, which is not that far-fetched, but without your treasure setup and anything, not super likely, she could take out Signora in a singular hit, but I don't think it's happening. I think we're going to get a nice melt here, and then we're going to swap over to Miko and get her burst going, because we do have enough dice to do exactly that.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see Hu Tao pull out a miracle again, but I am really not banking on that right now.
It's not that far-fetched, I will say, because if you do, you cannot do a pyro attack here, so you cannot overload. You can do a normal attack into a burst, healing you up, but that is just not going to be enough. You would need a way to stop this Miko, which there might be ways to do. We will see a Timaeus come down to get some artifacts going, maybe some extra dice.
Maybe.
Okay, skill coming down. Now, if you get attacked by Signora, that's a bit rough. But you do need to try to find a way to get this Miko to immediately go out. The only problem is you would kind of need to be low and have Papilio and have your burst and have everything come down. Or we will see a 1-cost NA on Signora doing 3 damage, getting Hu Tao low. I presume Hu Tao will respond with a burst of her own, but that will heal her to 6, and Miko is about to do 7 damage with a burst.
Yes. That would mean that Tojapao is forced to not...
Yeah, unfortunately, not many things you can do here. The only maneuvering type of way around is to skill again. But your main issue is that you are dead to 1 Signora skill, even in that case. Even if you do skill here, and try to get your opponent to switch to Miko, if they just Signora skill, I mean, it's fine. If they Senora skill, you can Hutao burst. So maybe there's a line where you're supposed to Hutao skill just to stall one more action.
Yeah, I think that's
see it.
possible. Yeah.
I think I can actually see it.
Quite possibly, yes.
Treasure. That's fine, especially if you are actually going to Hutao. Yeah. Oh, never mind. We're going to pick up more cards, try to heal a bit more. Okay, 1 treasure means the issue becomes you are exactly in lethal anyway. Miko still does 7, and you are right then and there. And there is not much to do about it. But Maidens! Maiden's going to heal you over it. Wait. We get to live. We get to live.
Not in this scenario.
No, it's fine because this does 7 and you have 1 treasure to get you up to 8.
Right.
So Miko is about to burst and you can do exactly enough. We're drawing some cards. The changing shifts is not exactly what we want, but another strategize is quite nice, I will say.
Yes.
A Kid Kujirai to give us some extra dice. Yeah, burst coming down. We can set up a dice nicer than our opponent next turn, even though we have less cards. Hutao on 3 gets a treasure, goes back up
to 5. Yep.
Oh my god. And 2 energy on her. Oh, will she actually be able to deal with this? She might. Miko does not do much damage.
Yeah, Miko just doesn't do a lot on her own. And
exactly.
Toshapal still has healing options and is about to become burst ready again.
Oh, the line has been found. This is one way to do it. If you can skill burst, you're going to heal so much again because of Maidens. You also have your food ready. You have treasures. Any treasures you get also stack with it. Oh my god. Is this actually just Hutao getting it back?
Yeah, and look at that. Like the Kid Kujirai swap places, and now there's the double healing from the Maidens. And
on top of that, our burst is immediately ready, and we might just be able to take him out. Oh my god, a clean 10 damage kill. Holy. Good game, well played. Played to the out and got it. Okay. I see it.
Yep, that really just shows how strong these players are. Even in such unfavorable conditions, I mean, Hutao's deck has always been as such when it comes to comebacks, but still to find that line and follow through to the letter, it's quite impressive, really.
Yeah, just going for it, seeing like, okay, I only have few outs here. I might just go and try to play towards them. And then just getting it. Oh, it's gotta feel bad if you're his opponent, but it is impressive nonetheless. Well, with that, Hutao does have her win going. An unexpected one, some would say, but nonetheless, she did definitely clear it. Now, the pick time gets interesting. What do you think your opponent will do? What do you think you would do? What would you pick here as both players?
I think it would be Kachina against possibly a rerun of Xinyan, or maybe Zhongli will come out.
Yeah, personally, I can see Xinyan being run again, because I think the other 2 decks might have a bit of a worse time against Kachina. And this deck might do better into it. And then if you're up against Clara, you can probably deal with that as well. So you kind of want to try this again and get the deck out of the way, and then deal with the more standard matchups, I would say, that a lot more people are familiar with.
Yeah. On one hand, Xinyan into Kachina does seem risky because they both can keep up with each other when it comes to damage, but I think it is that exact point that makes Xinyan maybe worth actually bringing to even the score out. Even though Kachina is basically a win ticket on her own, Xinyan can maybe keep up with her.
Just exactly because you want this Xinyan deck to pass through Kachina, you kind of want to play it now, because let's say you do lose, then you're in that position where you might have to play all 3 decks against your opponent's claw hand, and you can probably work that out. You can probably see how that goes, but if you do win, you both even out the score and push your Xinyan. I said the right one, right? Oh
yes, that's correct.
I'm getting into my own head at this point. Oh my god. Xinyan, you want to push her through Kachina, you want to make sure that you have that matchup ready, and once you do that, you are basically on even ground. But if you don't, your opponent does still have the hurdle of pushing Chlorant through all 3 of your decks. Now, they do only have to win once, but that one win might just be the reverse sweep you need. So, I think your prediction is correct. You do China into Xinyan, and we will see how that plays out.
Yeah, because you really want Xinyan to like get rid of. You really not want Xinyan to be against Kachina, so you put it against her, and then when Xinyan's gone, you can maybe play out the stall matches. On the other hand, if Kachina wins against some other of your decks and she gets removed, that Xinyan's not gonna be fighting any Kachina anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. Then she has to move over to the Clorant matchup, and Clorant has shown that she can just stack up a lot of HP and tankiness, and having to deal with all that is rough. Now, Xinyan does have like 2 really strong bursts in Signora and both Miko, which can kind of get through it, but Clorant does have like so many characters that are just extra HP basically. They're just like, oh, okay, I'll tank this. I don't mind. It's fine.
Yeah, it's the classic triangle all over again. Instead of playing aggro against stall, you really do want to get aggro against aggro. Though some would argue that decks like Chlorant and modern stall decks are actually mid-range.
Yeah, you can definitely say that. Modern stall decks are definitely built less like stall and more like mid-range 2-stall type of thing, where they can extend the game, but they can also try to go earlier, which definitely makes them more flexible. It's just the equipment cards and everything that we got that make them a lot more flexible and a lot more like able to go sooner than you would maybe think. But still, you definitely don't want to see that matchup, because like, yeah, you have these nice bursts, but also, hello, my name is Sijwin, I am extra 10 HP. I do not mind, like, at all.
Sometimes extra.
Sometimes even more than 10. So, yeah, Clorant can definitely just sit there and take all the bursts, all the nukes, and just be like, oh, I still have my carry at the end of this. Well, that is unfortunate for you. Because we did just see Hu Tao go 1v2 and casually take them out.
Yeah,
So-
1v2 and the other 2 are with full HP at that.
Full HP, their bursts ready, everything going, extra dice, and just there is no way to stop it. Just Hu Tao healing up way too much. Now, Clorant, she can't, well, she still does heal, but she also gets the shield and extra dice and everything when she's set up, so you really don't want to deal with any of that. But we shall see exactly what the play is.
Decide to pick, indeed.
Oh, Clorant. Dash about reading exactly what we were talking about and picking Clorant and be like, yeah, you wanna push this? You wanna push this through? Yeah, that's gonna be rough, buddy. Welcome to the stall world. Oh my god.
I guess on the other hand, Doshabao either sees this or decides to instead go with Clorant, because Doshabao also wants Clorant to push through so that he can basically just win the game with the Kachina in the back.
Exactly, Kachina fighting 3 decks is very likely to push through. And we can see here that they still do have the Natlan Arcane card, which is quite nice in all of these matchups, because realistically, a lot of these mid-range decks are not gonna do much at the start, and you're going to be able to keep up and just do more attacks than they do for the entirety of the game. So, I do like this deck, like, a lot. I think it's quite nice.
Return of the Sacred Flame gives your active character +1 damage if you dealt more damage than them the previous round, so if you can keep stacking that, then it's basically a snowball. Right.
Exactly. Oh, and we're headed immediately into it. The Clorant is ready. Oh, We do see the lo-fi immediately drawn, but in this matchup, you might want more stally options. Oh, the extreme! The extreme! Oh my god. We watched so many extremes yesterday, just stealing your opponent's hand, I wonder. But now you're up against a deck that could not care less because they don't have a hand.
That's fair. But on the other hand, you could also just give them way too much hand cards so that they cannot proc the Xinyan Burst and stuff. Possibly.
Honestly, yeah. The other play is to just draw cards yourself and then play extreme. Oh my god, that would be so funny. I would actually love to see that happen. Strategize into extreme, right? Okay, you don't want to give them the sword, but it would be great.
Yep. The reverse side of in the name of the extreme is usually not played because your cards are kind of important too, you know.
Exactly.
But maybe it could be worth it in some uncertain circumstances where you really need to break them as soon as possible.
Just get that out of the way and get it done. Ooh, will we see a Metapede come down? Stopping your opponent's hand sounds a bit worse. Oh my god, we drew so much today.
Yep.
Holy.
Pay 7 and then just place down the Mao and then the turn.
Bro drew, that is wild. Fixing up our dice? Why not?
Why not? Let's see. Keeping the 4 electro because probably trying to aim for 6 and got 6.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Exactly. Nice. So 2 skills coming down. Liu Su, I assume, swap, play everything. Play everything.
Yep.
Just actually play your entire hand. Lukma, no hands. It's that easy. Here, swap, get energy, play everything else you have, and just be happy.
Golden Troops reward onto Senora, Kid Kujirai, and then Return of the Sacred Flame.
Yep. And now we get our stacks going. We're ahead. And yep, 3 for us, 0 for our opponent, 5 for us actually.
Yeah. The Return of the Sacred Flame counts everything. It counts characters and summons. I'm not sure if it counts techniques or not. Techniques are so weird. It probably does, but still.
It probably does. I don't know if it counts like does it count the damage from a swirl? I would assume so actually. I have no
It does
idea.
count damage from swirls, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, a lot of nice stuff to be had here. Well, the issue is your opponent got 1 energy that they did want on Lore Master, but their breakpoints are a little rough. We can see the MMR and Soup both in hand, but neither of those are necessarily gonna protect her. If Xinyan skills here, Lore Master will take a lot of damage, get overloaded off, and then die to the damage. We don't care. We actually have cards to draw. I'm sorry, sir. We're busy drawing cards here and getting more equipment. You feel free to do your damage combos and stuff. We will be equipping. My god. The Golden House comes down. Can we just full equip? Are we just gonna full equip Clorand and just leave it be? Yeah. That's one. They on Clorand. And we go there. Interesting. Okay, sure.
They on Clorand.
I like that. We're going to move up our pace just a little bit to try to keep up and see what we can do to stop our opponent from getting all these bursts and everything going.
There goes a normal attack.
Yeah, the NA coming down on the other side, setting up for the burst. 2 piercing puts Lore Master in a very precarious position. But it might just be something I have to do. The Soup will, at the very least, be free. Did we get the dice? We got the dice lowering one, so now it's just 2 free dice every way you look at it. Skill coming down, no healing because no Bond of Life, but we are set up to gain some.
Yep, we're set up to gain some, and this time we're doing 2 attacks, so that's gonna be 4 Bond of Life, which means she'll be able to heal all 4 the next time she's on field and doing stuff.
Exactly. You can see they cannot really catch up to the Sacred Flame, but Do we need to see a swap off here? Our Conan is getting dangerously low right now.
Yes, Toshibao should switch off if they do not want Koran to get defeated so early. And genuinely, this matchup might be really fast going into Red White's favor because of how Xinyan's been able to just stand there unimpeded, unlike the previous rounds.
Yeah, exactly. There's no maneuvering. There's nothing that Cloran can really respond with. The only other thing you can do out of swapping here is probably just play Vana and keep the 2 dice and end first, because then you can swap off start of next round. Question is, even if you could... Oh my god, wait, you cannot, because you're gonna take the end phase damage, so
Yep.
this is
Summons.
actually really rough.
Like, I guess you can... Oh, that doesn't look good either.
Lore Master here getting swapped off, going down to 1. Yeah, but now getting that burst out is rough. You have 2 bursts ready, but how do you maneuver this?
Yeah, nobody's ready for that at all.
Yeah.
Nobody's ready to go up against Xinyan or anyone else. You do get the Wana though and gets rid of the Kid Kujirai because that...
No! The kid! It's okay. That's
yeah,
alright.
the bouncing around is actually getting rather tiring, so yeah, I can see why. Wanna get rid of that when it's still on your field.
The issue is, yeah, jumping him back and forth. Most likely your support zone will be filled soon anyway, so you don't want to give your opponent that 1 extra die. You just accept it. Like, okay, they got that 1 dice off of it. I'm not getting it. It's probably fine.
Yep.
Oh, dice are looking mid, but kind of for both sides. I get 2 Omni on either side. Actually, 1 Omni, but Vana gave us 2, so now we have 3. And the other side's looking okay as well. The only problem is your opponent can really play it slow this round, and I'm sure they will, trying to maneuver themselves onto this Lore Master, which is gonna be rough, though. I don't know how you're gonna go about it. Could we see an instant swap to Miko here? Just keep up the pressure?
No, I do not agree on that, but because at that point, then Toshibao, like Red White probably knows that Toshibao has a fast swap with how much the hand cards has been, and as a result, the Eremite Scorching Lore Master swap is always possible and stuff. We might just see Xinyan going attack again.
Yeah, I see it. Getting everyone super low.
Yep, and it happens.
Ready. Yeah, here's the fast swap, you're right, into Lore Master, who will burst and get her job done.
Yeah. Now, Red White could maybe potentially threaten Toshibao again by just switching back to Xinyan again, and that burst is going to be extremely deadly.
Exactly. It's a shame there's no gamblers to profit off of it, but completely reasonable and understandable. But yeah, heading off to Xinyan here means that, yeah, 2 characters are probably going down no matter what. Yep. Because even if you did have healing food, do you want to spend all that energy doing it? I don't know. And this is just actually a lot of damage. This Clohan needs to go completely crazy. She can heal herself. She can do a lot. But is it going to be enough?
We'll have to see. Either way, it's going to be only Cloran left on the field, so Toshibao will... Oh... The switch to Siege Ruin. This is to preserve dice for Cloran, but on the other hand, it means Cloran goes down to 1.
1 piercing, but 1 fight to take. We didn't switch to Cloran, which was interesting because that would have given us an extra die. We might have been scared of if we go to Claren, they can swap to a different character, and then we need to swap off. That's the issue. I believe that's the play we were playing around.
Yeah,
but now MMR coming down.
Yep, that elemental skill only healing 2 because of the only one normal attack.
Exactly.
And now Koran has nothing to do except just normal attacking because of not enough dice, not enough everything at all.
Yeah, your resources are low. Your opponent is ready with that Miko burst. We'll probably just pass here. The Signora is setting up those golden troops, but she's going to overcap now, but that doesn't make much of a difference when you know that the following round she's just going to break it down. Here is an issue with swapping. You do give your opponent 1 extra die because of the end phase damage that Xinyan does. Xinyan.
Yep.
Xinyan.
Yes.
I'll check it a couple times every time, I swear, at this point. Regardless, we will see another punch come down. 2 damage, unfortunately, not exactly enough, but we do get those dice back. Yeah, this lo-fi is going to give us just 3 dice all around. Oh my.
And that's 2 dice back. And Lo-Fi is now out of uses. There's technically still 1 more use left of MMR, but not gonna use that. Instead, using the elemental skill for the 5 damage and heals up to 4. That heal is going to be paramount if Chlorine Water survive this encounter.
Yeah, exactly. And now, to be fair, your opponent is going to have a lot, so you do want that healing back online as soon as possible to try to be able to bridge this difference. We will see how it pops out here. The dice on both sides are not super relevant. The Golden Troop is helping Red Y, and Taobao is doing a lot of normal attacks and has a lot of cards to tune. Also, Red Y does have the both library and the top deck, I'm pretty sure, yeah, bested, so that does definitely help.
Yep.
And
There
1 cost
goes
skill coming down.
Middle skill.
Now, I believe Clona needs to reset her her own skill.
Yes. So that would be an elemental skill down. Taobao really wants to play that strategize to maybe get some card in the deck that could help them face this battle. But Koran is no Hu Tao, unfortunately. She doesn't have that bombastic damage to completely avoid the Yai burst.
So what you could do is the technique here to try to take out Signora, but you will just flip her and give her her burst, which is just rough. She might burst you here anyway. Yeah, it's coming down. She's flipping forms. Unfortunately for Red Y, you actually don't have enough Pyro to be able to do a skill here. You can do a normal attack, which is probably fine. Although the end phase summon will do Pyro anyway, so up to you.
Yeah, and there's the end phase flames and the end phase summon, and honestly, that might be enough to finish off Koran if the timing for the end phase is correct, which I think now is correct, but instead,
she will live on 1. Yeah.
Yep,
you just do this, and this is just there. That's just too much. The fast swap to end it all just before she can get to heal, because remember, Lo-Fi does give her a lot of extra dice, and she will use those dice to heal herself back up. So we just say, no, we have a fast swap, we have a way to clear this out. Yep. Goodbye.
Yeah. And with that, Taobao's Loran is unable to clinch it out, and Xinyan is now out of the game.
Yep, Xinyan has proved herself and moved on to the next part. So now we have Clarant on both sides, and outside of that we have Zhongli and Kachina. Now Zhongli, we haven't seen the list yet, but it could be a more stall type of variant. We could see even something crazy like the weapon just sitting about, because there is Kokomi. Obviously Kokomi is a part of the fact that they wanted the Signora for the Xinyan deck, but we might see a different list altogether with some different ideas, because they did ban their opponent's Zhongli, meaning that they did not really want to deal with it. And that's fair, because it does a lot in the mid game. Like, it is a pure mid-range deck.
The sister of Geo versus the father of Geo. That is,
Exactly.
it's gonna be something to remember.
Exactly, a family dispute in the Geo archives to be remembered, but we shall see. We could also see a Cloran mirror match, which would be funny for what it's worth.
Yeah.
That's like, yes, it's going to be a chess match, but also it's going to be slow.
I'm not so sure. I like if it's the two Clorans facing each other with the Eremite technique, I think that might actually end up in a draw.
So it's not going to just be slow, it's going to be very slow. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. I respect that.
Yeah,
My
like
God.
I'm trying to count it out in my head, but like with the Scorpion, every time you do a skill, you get an energy, which means a 1 damage barrier. So that would be 2 to... Yeah, the 2 damage attacks would only be 1 with the Lo-Fi, and you get back a -1 barrier, and then you deal for 4 damage and heal 4. Like, it will eventually reach an end state, yes, but also that's going to be really annoying.
We're going to sit there for a long while they slowly punch each other. So let's hope that the players value their and our sanity and might not do that. Although if, oh my god, can you imagine that Kachina wins and Zhongli wins and we're just left with the mirror as the final game? Oh god.
The worst part is that actually is like the most likely outcome at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't seem far-fetched at all. Oh lord.
Yeah, like unless one of them is like really stubbornly playing Cloran, I do not think that this will be an outcome we can avoid.
Yeah, it seems a very likely option to slowly get to it. Okay, let's say the most important thing. If we're going to have to deal with a Cloran matchup, do you want to see it now or do you want to see it as the last game?
It's probably gonna end up as the last game, but if possible, I would like to see it now.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that. Maybe the players will hear our vows and just get it out of the way, so that the last game could be literally anything else. Although we shall see it. Oh my god.
To prepare for that, I would actually like to review the Cloran deck a bit, if I could, for Dojabao's deck. That's
fair.
I can find it.
That's fair, but you know what also came to mind? What if they're both playing Extreme? What if it's going to be Extreme taking the cards, and then the other top deck's Extreme taking the card? Oh my god. There is one in here. With a Control Blast as well, we saw this in a bunch of decks at this point, just trying to stop Zhongli dead in his tracks. And 2 Tadas. 2 Tadas, 1 NSC, and 1 MMR. As you can see on screen.
Yup, Lo-Fi, Tenacity. Like, if the other side also plays Tenacity, I think it would actually be a standstill, because of how much the...
two extremes in this one. 2 extremes.
Oh, 2 extremes.
My god.
A win condition might be if you extremed out their Tenacities.
Yeah. Just steal the Tenacities and then you have 4 now. I don't know what you're doing with 4, but you have 4. All for me, none for you. Let's go.
Yeah, just tune all of them. Do not play them.
Tune you have to tune it because you have to get rid of it so they can't extreme it back. Yep. This is actually important tech. Now, the interesting part about Dojabao's list is that they do actually have Metapede as well, which this list does not have. Now, Metapede might be a little less consistent to proc on Cloran all the time, but it might actually be something you could work around. If you can proc it fairly consistently, you can work it. But here we don't have that. We have only 1 fast swap, and we just have a bunch of dice. Both players are playing 2 Tadas, just for the extra draw, and potentially, maybe theoretically, if you run into freeze, but I don't think like almost anything is trying to freeze you right now.
Yeah, it's not for the freeze stack. It's for bumping up the scorpion stacks for that break point.
Yeah, exactly. Getting that +1, it seems quite nice. The food choices are a little bit different between the players, but you can also see the Dawn Winery on each side. My precious 2 swaps. We love to see it. Outside of that, the list do look standard, yeah.
Yep. Ever since Dawn Winery became 2 swaps, it's seen a lot of play, like way more than I would like to see it, because damn, like I still remember the not so old days when Dawn Winery was still bad.
Yeah, 2 dice for 1 swap per round. So by round 3, it's +1. And you gotta swap every round, and a lot of characters like wanted to set up their burst and stuff, so you weren't even swapping every round. And then, oh my god. And then they just said, yeah, I have 2.
Have
I was
2.
like, huh. That's not that bad. That's quite nice.
Yep. While we're waiting for the players who pick their decks, let us go see their remaining decks, shall we? Like Toshapao's Kachinavia, for example.
Yeah, let's see if it's stacked for anything. I would like to see that come down and see if it's ready to deal with everything. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I do not see anything out the ordinary, because like you really do not get any more unordinary with Kachinavia. Right.
Yeah, there are some interesting things in general to just talk about. The 2 gamblers is quite fair. I think you're probably gonna find them, and realistically, like a lot of this is very low cost, low to the ground, play immediately type of cards. Yep. You're just down to immediately.
Meanwhile, it seems that our players have decided their decks, so let us see what they think for Game 3.
What do we have? Clohand on one side? Is it on the other? It's on the other! Oh,
we're
the
seeing
joy
it early, people.
Oh my, everybody strap in. This is going to be a match to remember. This is going to be a match to see, to remember. Oh boy.
Suffer upon.
It's gonna be a great time. I do want to watch 2 Cloran just heal more than they do to each other. That actually, I want to see that happen. I want to see it go to 15 and draw with only the 2 of them standing.
Yeah. On the other hand, it is in their best interests to not let that happen. And every time they start ping-ponging off each other, the Scorpion will gain stacks if possible. So there's a certain point where you just have 11 stacks of Scorpion and just one-shot them for game.
And you could just go, yeah, that sounds very likely, honestly, because I don't know how else you do this. It's also always possible in mirror matches where there are such prevalent and important equipment cards that one person will just not see them. But in this case, because these are not exactly stacking cards as they are in certain other matchups, where, like, for example, Crab really needed it and Narwhal really needed it early, Clorand is more like, oh, you got it? Okay, now your deck is online. So as long as it's not at the bottom of either player's deck, we are probably fine.
Yep, we are probably fine.
Probably.
Yep. One thing about probability is that sometimes that worst chance scenario will come. Both players got lo-fi on their mulligan, so that's one piece down.
Exactly. So
the one piece.
Unlikely that the other one is at the bottom, but you know what they say about theory and practice? They're same in theory, but not in practice.
I have never heard that one before.
I don't know where I heard it. I heard it years ago, and it's stuck in my head. Oh, the dice are dicing, that's for sure. They're okay. Better on top than bottom, but definitely a lot better on top than bottom. But realistically, only one Omni is rough, though. You didn't even care that the rest of your dice are just correct? Okay, we have a second roll, thank God.
Thank God. We have 3 Pyro. And it appears that Red White has taken an alternate line. Instead of starting on Eremite, they have already started on Clorand.
Oh, that is interesting. Okay, okay.
And
Let's see what
Extreme!
more.
The
Oh
Extreme
my
is here.
God. It's time, it's time. Tune everything, play it, I believe. Tune everything, play Lo-Fi, play it. Ah.
No, it
sad
does not
face.
appear to be the case because, like it or not, starting on Clorand and immediately going Extreme is probably not a good idea when your opponent probably has 6 Pyro to raise on her.
You know, some would say that, but what if you play Extreme instead? But have you heard? Extreme. A second on winery, okay.
Yep, that's gonna be Stall Central.
It's time. And then we swap.
And immediately starts to swap stall. That 4 free swaps will probably end up on Clorand one way or another. And
so yeah, in most cases you're just making sure that you go second here, which to be fair you always will because your opponent is about to ramp straight into Oblivion. The Metapede is coming down. We will catch 2 dice back and say, all on you, friend, who will also just equip their own Lo-Fi and just say, okay, all good.
Yep. Red White has guaranteed going second and has drawn the second piece.
Oh
second piece is
my.
for you.
The one piece and the second piece, of course. But yeah, exactly. And then we can see it. So comparing the ramps here, one person has Metapede, which is supposed to stop your opponent dead in their tracks, or at least make it uncomfortable, especially with a deck like Clorand, where it doesn't have that many action cards, stopping the ones you do have. And both players did top deck everything they want, so...
Yeah, both players got their Clorand online, probably. Now, Red White has the option of just going Golden House, equips Tenacity, and that Extreme is likely more than useless by now.
Oh, but watch the Clorand go aggressive. Use her skill menacingly, because for now it does nothing, but soon.
Yeah, her skill only lasts for 1 round, so that's gonna be a sign that Taobao is planning to do something with that Clorand, and immediately goes for the normal attack.
Exactly, but now you are starting immediately by doing damage on the opposing Clorand, who now needs to skill and only then do damage back to you. So we might see some maneuvering coming from Taobao now. Oh,
nope.
Interesting.
Instead,
We got +1
going
dice.
for the swap stall. Went back to dip that Tenacity at the middle list for that +1 dice, and it's back on Siege Green.
I mean, at this point, I assume we're just going to see a lot of swaps into Go Clorand and then do your own stuff. Yeah.
No, it's probably swapped to Eremite because Red White seems to be wanting that 3 Pyro for the Lord Master skill.
Oh, I can see that. I would assume you would have done it immediately, but maybe not. I would have assumed that we're just going to swap as much as we can and then go Clorand. But
on
let's
the
see
other
how this
hand,
plays out.
there's also the choice of swapping to Clorand and going Mao into Extreme.
There's always an option to click Extreme.
The Extreme option is honestly not that bad.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Oh, are we going to see the Eremite Burst come down? Seems like it.
Yeah, once Eremite burst, then she's no longer needed. So Red White really wants to have that happen at all costs to like get Clorand rolling to hopefully defeat Taobao in this mirror match.
Exactly. And we will just see that you can't really stop it right now. You just kind of have to sit there and wait. Unless Clorand Burst could not have killed her, could it?
It could not. Clorand Burst only does so much.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Well, another NA, we keep setting ourselves up. We can just go back now and be A-okay.
It was not even a Clorand Burst. It was her skill, which only does up to 5.
Yeah, because of the amount of bond of life. We will stay here though. Our opponent has already used everything they have to try to deal with us. So now we don't really have to be worried about anything.
Yep. On the other hand, Tojapao's Eremite Scorching Lore Master is looking mighty healthy. This seems to be an alternate line for Toshapao's own in the mirror match, which is to Cloran for setup and Eremite for the sweep instead.
It could be. We could also now slow it down and then basically have it the same way that our opponent just did, where we just they move to Clawhand, we move to our own Lore Master, and we have our own Lore Master set up then after they do it.
Possible.
Oh, but doesn't seem like it. Seems like we will just keep going in. We don't care. We don't stop. We don't sleep. It is time. If their Clawhand overloads us, we overload them right back. Oh, we will just keep going. The soup is coming down.
Yep. The Cloran is Red Rice Cloran is technically not online yet. Still needs to do the skill. With 6 dice to have it. Here we have a normal attack from Toshapao.
Yeah, giving us +1 dice.
Goes out to 3 bond. Now Red Y has to choose between. Yep, no need to choose, just normal attack and go. And now Toshapao on Eremite. We'll need to tune one though.
Yep. Oh, we will just swap off. Now we're playing the slow game. We're trying to see what we can do with Alcrolan now that they have to go in. Also, we didn't get the dice off of our TOTM because we got swapped off by Overload. Yeah. That is truly tragic. Oh, okay. Winery means we're going to do a couple more swaps.
Yep.
Most likely. Look at this. Trying to dodge the Eremite damage. Will we move to our own? Yep, we move into our own Cloran now.
There we have it. Also, Mirror Pipe procced.
Yeah, and you can see that the food is now not able to be used. It will be stopped, and we don't really have a good card to just place on it, so that's rough.
Yep. All 3 cards are events, so either way you are losing the card.
Yeah, that is true, but paying the cost is going to be rough. Now we see the maneuvering come down. Now, will you just attack? You will get your TOTM going back. Or will you move to your own Lore Master, trying to get them to attack it? They do have more Dawn Wineries than you do. Their swaps are going to slowly get you out.
Yeah. Tojapao's already out of swaps for the day. From Dawnberry, but still decides to pay the dice for it.
A slow swap onto Lore Master. You cannot attack her because that gives me everything I want. And this is probably going to be a swap into a swap into a swap into a swap. Now, when you go back to Clohand here, if you do, and your opponent goes back to their own, do you actually not attack her is the question. You will take 4 damage if they skill, which is quite rough. But you will get an extra die, and if you NA, you'll get another extra die, and you will get a lot of extra dice, but you will be low.
Yeah, Tojapao's in quite a dilemma here. The state of the match is not looking really good for some monkey decision making.
Yeah, what it comes down to here is that we might just see this into Eremite into pass. I can see the Siege Ring swap, they swap back to Cloran, then you swap to your own Lore Master, hoping that she is not going to die because Lo-Fi is already spent, everything's already spent. She's not likely to die before she gets to burst.
Yeah. Really, that Mirror Pete came in clutch.
Yep, you can see.
All those cards are really devastating if they get to be played this round.
Yeah, especially the NSC. It would be so good, but you just can't.
Unfortunately, there exists a thing called the next round.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. If your opponent does go and attack twice with Cloran onto your Lore Master, then you do get Merope to proc again. So that's quite good. But outside of that, He might just
Yeah,
not
the
get
problem is whether they'll actually do that. Oh,
it. Oh, okay.
use Chef Mao to break through and
Oh,
place the
draw.
countdown. Second copy.
Second one is right here. It's time.
It's
We can
time.
Vana scoop up the dice at the end, so there are plays here definitely.
The
Yeah, I think this is bait. I think this is bait for your opponent to go Lore Master and you'll just pass.
Yep, Taobao goes Lore Master, and it is very possible that you just Mystic.
Soup doesn't actually even help you that much. You would have to
Yeah.
toss a die, which is a bit rough, I will say.
Nope, instead goes to Citrine, and it's Taobao's turn to actually end before Red Y. Again?
Yeah. Now, yep, Vana will catch the remaining dice. You have lost priority. You have forced your opponent to go first, and yep, you have negated their Meropede as well.
However, that Eremite is not really able to act so freely because of the double Electro Aura on the other side of the field.
Exactly. And it's going to be just a little bit rough to maneuver around it. You could, if you swap to your own Cloran, they will swap to theirs, and then it's just a bit rough because she does have the Scorpion and you don't. A really big difference right now.
Yeah, it's kind of what we said earlier about this match being absolutely way too long for our liking. But
oh, we go for it anyway. Okay.
Oh.
Giving our opponent a die, letting our opponent give us a die. And then, unfortunately, we might after that see a swap to Lore Master where Red White will not want to give them the energy on her so she can burst. Therefore, we might see some swap stalling come down, and then that's life.
Yep. That's just life. Hits over, hits back with the elemental skill. Unfortunately, the Taobao doesn't have the Scorpion, so getting hit on Cloran doesn't do that much.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate. And realistically, your best play here is to go Lore Master, probably trying to make sure that your opponent gets it. But we might just see an aggro push here. Who is this getting on? Oh, it's Clohan. She is. It's 2 healing, but she gets Bond of Life instead.
It's 2 healing, converted into Bond.
Exactly.
And she hits again!
Oh, we are going. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this Scorpion on the other side can do a decent chunk if need be, and that is quite rough.
Yeah, it's already at 3 stacks, so that's like 6 stacks with Overlord total?
Something like that. Now, I guess you have to head back to Lore Master. This fight is just not for you to win purely on numbers. Your opponent just has more stuff.
Yeah, more dice, more everything, more.
Oh, we keep going, we keep pushing, but pushing into the Scorpion is a little rough. Let's see how this plays out now. The 3 damage skill because of 3 Bond of Life could come down, healing us back to full HP and lowering the opposing Cloran's damage by quite a bit.
Goes in with the elemental skill.
Now you're low, now it's a bit rough. If you want to start swap stalling, I mean, you're relatively safe from dying? Somewhat safe from dying? I can't actually tell off the top because Lo-Fi will proc, and then she's got the Scorpion. Like, technically, Cloran might be able to kill Lore Master here if you just go to her and pass, trying to get her ult. Yeah, we'll see it go down exactly that way, but no, Red Boy is not even entertaining the idea, it's just an instant swap.
Yep, Red White does not want that Cloran to be anywhere near taking damage from the Lore Master. Taobao running out of
Exactly.
patience, decides to act the Siege Queen.
Yeah, I mean, your opponent has twice as many wineries as you do, so there's not much you can do about it.
Yep. So you're kind of forced to end first always and wait for them to do things to you.
Yeah, exactly. Now the question is, how much can this Cloran dish out if you do want to go in? And it has to be 10 or more, because otherwise, yeah, you never want to punch. I don't think she could actually get the damage, like get enough damage to do it, unfortunately.
That's switch to Siege Queen into Taobao ending the round, so Cloran now has free reign to do stuff. That's 5
Yeah.
dice and goes to 7. So 2, 2, 5, 3. That's Eremite down if the tuning is enough.
Oh, you think she could take her out? If she can't take her out, you definitely go for it. If she
Yeah,
can't, it's a little rough.
I think you want, I think you can and you want to take out the Lore Master because without the Scorpion, Doshabao's side is looking mighty scuffed right now.
Yeah, he makes so much of the difference, and you already have 3 stacks ready to go. Even if you do have to lose your own Scorpion to take her out, it might just be worth it just because you're so far ahead, but yeah, it's probably just doing the math here on exactly how much you can do and how much retaliation is going to come down. We shall see it right here. Because the timer is running short, we're going to Siege Wing skill instead. Okay. 3 Bond of Life attached to Siege Wing. The bubble on top will probably make her lose all that Bond of Life and then go straight back to 6 because she gets 1 extra max HP off of it.
It's also possible that that 3 extra healing would be going into Chlorand instead for that extra 4 bond.
Yeah,
the,
actually being able to
yeah.
stack that is... Yeah, you're right, you're so right. You are so correct on that one.
It's
but
possible.
Outside of that, we probably float, yeah.
Oh, float instead. Gonna keep that Eremite healthy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to go in right
Fair.
now.
Fair.
You're
Even
also
though
making... Yeah, you're making Dashable start first, so they have to pick what to do here.
Even though the start was kind of strong, now we're back to our swap stalling days. Let's see what round this will end at.
Exactly. Now it's a maneuvering game. Where one person is definitely in the lead because they have the Scorpion, but the other person is making sure that they can't do anything. Otherwise, they will also give them the Scorpion. Oh, we are just gonna see this Lore Master go in, aren't we?
Yeah, the Lore Master can go in with a normal attack or elemental skill. Instead comes down for the all omni effect. Finally gets a copy of Extreme.
It's time. It's time.
It is not time.
Pass swap.
Plays a fast swap. Potentially. I mean, playing the fast swap is alright, but.
But exactly where, what, and how do you want to go about it? I sincerely hope it's not a fast swap somewhere, swap back to Aramite, because that just does not work the way you want it to.
That doesn't exist, yes. There's the potential line of going to Cloran and maybe doing something with that, but...
Yeah, just going in immediately.
I do not think that would work out as well as we'd hope.
Yeah, it's rough. You might just overload their Cloran still. With the Slaughter Master and just see where life goes from there. No, we're headed to our own.
Yep, we're swapping to Cloran, playing Tada for the extra dice, and that would draw at the end phase. Switches rack!
I mean, yeah, but if red white just goes, siege ruin, what do you do here? You go back to your Claren? Like, yeah, what now?
Yeah, what now?
What's the play?
I guess Eremite skill is possible.
Yeah, now it seems like we're actually going for it with Tune the
Yeah,
card.
tuning away the Soren buddies. Elemental skill possibly incoming. Min TV
MMR.
rolls.
Onto Claren giving us a die. We gotta check what type it is.
Cloran gets a Hydro dice and immediately tunes it away and plays Extreme!
Oh! Our cards now, buddy. You do get the bubble. It goes on Siege Ruin. Doesn't even give you more Bond of Life. It does put one in our hand. But now it's interesting. Now, how do you want to go about it? Your opponent does suddenly have 3 mouse. Which is funny. But... how do they have 3 mouse? Oh, you gave them one. Right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
you gave them one, so now they're like super chudong.
Yeah, exactly. They're ready. They have an army of mouse.
Yeah, but having so many mouse mean you have to sacrifice a Dawn Memory for it, which I do not think the Red Y would do it.
Is interested in, yeah, exactly. Especially with this Metapede sitting here and stopping so much of your food. It's just rough.
Like, not just that, there's a certain mark on the food cards which I am not quite so happy about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, mouse still gives you dice even when they're negated, but my god, you're still not happy to be in that spot. Yeah, now Clarent is going finally attacking the Eremite with 0 dice remaining. Oh, this Clarent might actually just do a lot here.
Yep, that's probably gonna take it down.
Yeah, now she's going crazy. The Lore Master finally gets her energy, but it might just be a little too late. A little too much hope and a little too little HP to survive.
Indeed. And their Lore Master goes down. It really does come up to the maneuvering, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. It was just about the positioning and how we play it out.
Yeah, if Toshiba was on Siege Ruin instead, I do not believe Red Y would go this far for anything at all.
Yeah, exactly. It would just play it slower. But now this Clarend is really just a raid boss. I mean, the healing's ready, the Bond of Life's ready, 13 max HP, extra stuff. You're also about to top deck the bubble, probably.
Yep, bubble, pop.
An extra reaction, and oh my.
And also draws into the healing. And that's before the round counter, so that would mean an extra bond into Cloran instead of subtracting from it.
Yep, exactly. And now it's a little rough. Now, how do you actually get out of it? I mean, yeah, your opponent's Clarand is just so strong, and you just don't have to match her.
Unlike the previous match where it was like Xinyan and Hu Tao and stuff, you do not have any bombastic moves to get yourself out of stuff like this. Like Stall doesn't have that. Like the kind of miracle you can pull. It's all
Oh
just
my god, I see it coming.
calculated
I see it
advantage.
coming.
Oh.
I see it coming.
Oh.
Lord is coming.
Oh Lord is coming.
Oh no.
Now, do you tune the Meropede or nope, you play the Mystic Soup and then tune the Meropede?
Yeah, we're gonna do everything. Okay. Get the soup, get the dice, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Extreme! And draw the rest of your deck, please. 3 cards. 3 cards that you don't exactly want to see. And we have infinite, but unfortunately, Claran just doesn't need that many dice to go off, now does she?
I mean, she got 10. She has the 2 from one arena, and that's enough.
Yeah. She doesn't need that many correct dice, I guess I should specify, so... These 3 cards are probably just enough tuning.
Yeah, she needs some, like, not so little as to be Kachina, but she still needs some.
She still needs a decent amount, but not enough for this to actually exactly stop you dead in your tracks and just have you be unable to do anything. And now you do have that nice 1 dice burst you can do, but outside of that, it's looking rough.
Yeah, nothing.
God, the animation on that burst is so nice. But I don't think style points win this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Red White takes game 3.
Hey! The Claran mirror goes out to the player who maneuvered it better. Yeah, that was quite the win. And that is the second win for Red White. Now it gets interesting. So the question is, what do you do from this spot? Do you try to push Claran, or do you play Kachina into matchup you will probably do well in to get your spirits back up for that final game?
It depends on whether you're trying to end the game well, or just be like trying to get your opponent fatigued for that 3-2 win or something.
That is definitely a possibility. Do remember, this is still loser's bracket, so whoever does lose is out. So realistically, any advantage you can get, any nervousness you can get on your opponent could be worth it. So you could just play Kachina, the matchup you're very confident in, and just take it down. Or you could just say, you know, Claran's got this. I believe in her. She's going to win this one.
Yeah, I don't think any duelist here is not mastered the Kachinaria style. The Claran against Zhongli. Like, we have to figure out how this matchup would go before we could decide for sure, because like
exactly.
I think most days Kachinaria wins against Zhongli, right?
Yeah, but I'm also interested to see this Zhongli list and see what exactly it's stacked, because Kokomi is not like completely out of the blue, and it could just be a very normal Zhongli list with Kokomi instead of Signora, but it does seem to pull a bit more towards a stall and maybe a bit more towards a hyper carry Zhongli, because your other units just don't do as much. So it could be interesting to see how teched the deck is and what it's ready for and what it was built in mind with. So then I'm sure that would actually make you change your conclusion of what you want to play.
Fair. Like, let's just take a peek at that Zhongli Kokomi deck. Shall we?
Yeah, typing in the secret codes to get the deck. Let's go. Beep boop, hello. I would like to see the codes. Oh my god, it's here.
Yep.
Let's go. Okay, so Inazumares. I love
Inazumares. Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes up when you play Kokomi and Chiori because Inazuma, and it's really needed because damn, the father of Geo really needs a lot of that dice.
Yeah, we watched it play yesterday, and god, they got so messed up by their dice so much. It was so unfortunate. So having it is quite nice. And while Chiori did release during Fontaine and is in Fontaine, she is an Imazuman, so you do get this for free if you are playing Kokomi, which is quite nice.
Yep, Inazuma faction, my friends. There's also the Stormterror's Lair for that easy talent tutor.
Exactly. Getting all that stuff going, getting your dice easily. Oh, okay. Whoa, Red White's going with Zhongli. Whoa.
What a surprise!
Okay,
that's sort of a surprise.
So it depends on your logic, your philosophy on it. I think Dashabaj is just like, okay, my Claran needs to win this anyway. So while I am less fatigued, while my opponent is maybe a bit more in a relaxed state because they're just like a game ahead. They're like, okay, now I'm so close to winning, I feel a bit easier. Now is maybe the time to just run in and try to steal a victory and then let Kachina take it out. But definitely, yeah, this list is just built for consistency, and your opponent does have that blast. We might have forgotten that, but that blast is designed to fight exactly Zhongli, and it's even better when the Kokami is there as well.
Ooh, you're
So
right.
we
you're
could
right.
see it. We
With
could
that-
definitely see it.
With that blast, it is quite possible that Red White would be caught unaware. It is also quite possible that that blast would be bottom decked.
That would be unfortunate. But the thing is, hopefully it's not, and maybe our philosophy is all wrong. Maybe it's not about I have to push this Florent through. Maybe it's more like, oh, I have my control blast. I have my tech for this. I am ready to fight this matchup. And I'm going to mulligan all 5 cards until I find it. Thank you. I believe.
Yeah, but I guess Ermite Florent doesn't actually need that many setup cards. Like the 2 cards that Florent needs are kind of a bonus, but in this case, I guess you really do want to dig for that blast, but
Yeah, well, the reality of it is they're probably just going to use a lot of ramp cards that also give you draw. Stuff like Countdown.
Yep.
So we
Either
shall
way.
see how that goes. Oh,
we'll see how theory transforms into practice.
exactly. 2 lo-fis. In case one gets damaged or something, you do have the second one. I don't know how it's gonna get damaged, but who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? Like, maybe Red White draws a card from cyberspace that destroys a card in the opponent's field.
Exactly. Removal. Yeah, what if they have removal? We gotta be ready. Oh, both talents ready. One with Storm Terrors, other with Arcane on the bottom side. So we're about to see the full blast of it. Now, unfortunately, no Inazuma-Res. So you better roll those dice well, buddy.
Yep,
It
the
better
Dice
come down.
Master must now rely on their dice to pave the way. Right. The players are deciding what to go for right now because there's possibly some sort of fringe line with starting with Chiori
Yeah.
for Red Y.
Chiori start, yep. And then being ready to move into Zhongli probably for round 2. And thereabout. We will see how this exactly goes. And not that much maneuvering. Probably what we're gonna see is Zhongli starting bombastic on round 2 with a lot of damage. And then Cloran just taking it slow, letting all of their other units die, and then having Cloran try to fight them.
To be noted, Red Y will be able to obtain all 2 talent cards this round.
Exactly, but we see an instant Floor Master hit, mostly because we don't actually have that much ramp on our side, unfortunately.
I guess after the last match, Taobao doesn't really want to start with that much of an intense ramp, or just mouthpad into that.
That's unfortunate.
Draws into the Zhongli talent anyway.
So now you're just keeping the Arcane, I guess.
Yeah, the Arcane's now only used for draw.
Yeah, which is not that bad for what it's worth. The game is expected to last a bit. We will see both the follow-up and the eyes closed doll ready. So extra damage or follow-up, both popping in. Probably the extra damage, one would assume so.
Yep, in this deck you want the extra damage.
Yeah, it would be quite nice. The talent giving you one more doll to choose from is always very useful.
There's only like 5 dolls, so the
There's
chance
5 dolls and you get to pick 4, so you actually can't miss. Oh, the Crane!
Oh, Crane doll!
Crane doll coming in.
That's
okay.
Interesting.
Unexpected play. But it is free dice, whichever way you spin it. Right, that wasn't the follow-up, that was the Crane doll. I see.
Yep, it was the Crane doll.
The background is different. My bad. I forgot. Let's
That's
see
fine.
the dice. Oh, up top, not looking too well, except if you want to play extreme. You have 4 dice at the same time. It's time.
Bottom dice also doesn't look that good. Top dice is absolutely horrid. Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no. Not where you want to be, but your clone end is set up. Yeah, you'll move towards there. Zhongli's probably gonna 5 cost you. Now you do have 2 Inazuma Res. I think using one is, yeah, perfectly acceptable right here. And
Yep.
you would just, yep, spend half your dice on this. Bonk. Big damage. Your opponent does get 1 die back, but your setup is crazy. And the crane is coming in. Now the skill from Cloudhand +0 just standing there, telling you that she is ready to go, ready to take you out, but not this action. Just wait a second. I gotta set up my guns. Give me a moment, please. Thank you.
Yep. And now the crane doll is showing her worth with the Zhongli crane into Chiori. That extra dice is really coming in clutch, huh?
I mean, we're probably just going to see another Chiori skill here, then I assume. Because of the way, yeah, because of the way we set this up. Now we
Yep.
don't have the extra damage, actually. Though with its eyes closed is not here. So we do actually have to go for the follow-up attack, yeah. That is the way that goes. And now we do have 1 die to spend on anything we want. Yep. Oh, can you imagine Blast next round? Oh my god.
Oh, 5 HP Hot Springs!
Holy!
Ark can finally cross off that bingo card.
It's time. Oh, you get another die here, so you're able to swap off of Cloran because this is going to be a lot of damage coming down.
Yep.
Shame that you don't have eyes closed, but this is also completely fine.
Yep. Even without eyes closed, that's 8 damage.
Yep, yep. Big numbers, big damage. 2 from each. Holy.
And Citruine's down to 4.
Citruine is down to 4, but Citruine is also the one unit that you're down to be down. You don't really mind it.
Yeah, you don't really mind her, to be honest.
She is there to exist. Her
Yep.
existing is her job. And that's all you really need.
Yeah, the 12 HP unit that's occasionally useful.
That sometimes does come up to help your Cloran out.
Yeah,
But
it
realistically
sometimes
not.
does actually come up.
Yeah. Okay, well we will see the we will see this and then the crane will pop, getting us
And go
straight.
to-
Oh no, the crane's gone. Never mind. Oh, we normal attack. I see.
Yeah. Oh, normal attack too, and let the follow-up handle it.
Yeah, the follow-up taking out Siege Ruin. I mean, realistically, we don't really care for our cleansing of auras because like overload's like fine. It's workable. There's no big deal. And the one unit we really care about is Zhongli after all. Now, where are we gonna head here? Because we can head to Chiori. Yep, we're going to head straight there. No fear about this blast. Our opponent doesn't have it, so that's quite nice. But my God, the blast.
Yeah.
would
Instead,
go
they're
nuts.
going to tutor 2 cards and normal attack again.
Yep, with the food and the lo-fi and the TOTM, everything, they're quite set up for this Clan to go in. But yeah, another doll. Oh, there's the +1 damage fighting with eyes closed. Yep. Now this is going to be a lot coming down in the end phase. The like problematic part is the end phase because Lord Master doesn't have a way to get her energy back like at all. And that is just so bad. What are we about to see? Probably a Kokomi sack right now, and then from there we can just do exactly whatever we want. I mean, Zhongli is still a tank. Chiori has her burst. Oh, this Cloran has a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Not only that, the Rain of Stone with 10 HP worth of damage is coming down in the end phase, so Cloran has to deal with that too.
Yeah, it's just oof. This is just
And
rough. Storm Terror is still lowering the cost of our 5 cost if we go for Zhongli and everything.
yep, let's see how this goes. I think I'm sharing on Chlorine just going in more and more.
Yeah, you kind of have to. You're gonna have to sacrifice Lore Master and just lose that ability in the end phase. But for now, I think it's just a go angle. Your opponent's not even gonna swap. You cannot like maneuver around them. So yeah, you just have to do it.
Yep, heals for 0 because Chlorine's already at max.
Yep.
That's quite a waste of HP healing, but it's alright. Like, you cannot do anything else.
Yep, you have to go. You have to just do damage. Your HP is going to be relevant later, but for now, it's just about dishing out as much as you can. You do have the NSC, lowering your costs, going in. Now you're only on 1 dice, and you do have to swap here. So your opponent's honestly just thinking about how to do the most damage, yeah, in the following turn. And this is probably fine. Lore Master always goes down here.
Yep.
And not much she can do on it. At 3. She gets her energy, then takes 2. 2. She will take all of the summons. Oh no, she will not.
No.
Right, because Florent will boost twice. Exactly. And then this hit.
Yeah, the TOTM takes it, so Chlorine's still at max.
Yep.
But she still has to go through the Father of Geo.
Yep, the Father of Geo and the Doll Lady. And their infinite summons. It's going to be rough. Zhongli does not have his burst to completely shut her off. But yeah, a 5 cost is probably coming down anyway. So that would be worked with. Buddies is an option to just get an extra summon down. Or an extra attack from a summon, but we shall see. And yeah, Clorand is, or not Clorand, but Chiori is also boosting everybody here, so it's gonna be a lot.
Merupi is around to like negate 1 card, but I don't think that's enough when you have so many 0 costs in hand.
Yeah, exactly. Buddies, Inazumares, like, you don't really need Inazumares to do anything. You have the Arcane to also get more cards because you never actually used it. It's just, yeah, it's so much.
You could also let the Arcane be destroyed.
Yeah, you can just let it die. I mean, the animation of it exploding is quite nice. So, you know, if you just want to show that off, that's something.
Yeah, that's something, alright. Or you could show off the round timer, if that's what you're into.
That's also fair, you know? Gotta show what it's like when you're running out. Now, I assume what we're actually gonna do here is a Zhongli 5 cost. Okay, we'll let this explode. You can still do it because it's only 4. Oh, we will take cards instead. That's fair.
Oh, draw 3!
Yippies!
Gets 2 strats and a Mao. That's actually really worth it, huh?
That's quite nice, yeah. Although, to be fair, Stove is not what it used to be. Unfortunate. But still, good card. Good card. Yes, well, this game is going by a lot faster than you would think of. Like mid-range.
Thank God it wasn't what it used to be. Like, damn.
It was everywhere, my god.
It was horrible back then.
I didn't mind it that much, but yeah, having an all catch arcane that everyone was playing if they didn't want an arcane, I think it was just better to not have it.
Yep, 29 card deck, everyone.
Exactly. Now what will we see here? Because you can't 5 cost into burst anymore. So yeah, we're just gonna see some stalling, I guess. Some extra dice coming down.
Hot Spring O'Clock.
Hot Spring O'Clock, indeed.
I guess you don't really need to do the 5 costs because why would you need it? You can just go 3 cost for the Stone Steel.
That's also fair. You can just put it down and then move and burst, or you can just go super tanky with stuff like this.
Yeah, do this then for cost. It's also possible.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, because now you can't. The Georaz makes you also unable to 3-cost into burst, so you are actually just kind of like shielding up and just getting it in. Oh, we're not even gonna summon anything, huh?
Yeah,
It's just turtle up and go Chiori.
Yeah, Chiori does more damage than Zhongli. It's just that Zhongli is better in the 1v1 due to the Petrify.
Yeah, if you can get there, it like does so much. Here, Cloran's gonna try her best, but she's about to take a lot of damage now. 6 Bond of Life means that realistically she's gonna heal a lot of it back. I wonder if it's going to come down to another doll instead of the burst. Yeah.
Yep, that's another doll.
The follow-up
GC,
attack
so
doesn't help that much.
yeah, that's a wide variety of dolls, but doesn't seem to be. Yep, grabs the follow-up. It seems.
7 damage on a 5 dice, Cloran. Even if she's not getting the die from TOTM, this is actually a decent chunk, but you do have another Georaz to keep yourself safe as much as you can. Now we shall see. With the 6 Bond of Life, she actually does a lot. Oh! The blast! I didn't see it, we top decked it! Oh my god, okay. Now those 2 dolls are just gonna spend themselves and that's about it. They will do 4 damage, but honestly, you're not that worried about it.
Yeah, that's 4 damage total, and the Rain of Stone is now broken. Well, eventually.
Oh, exactly.
We'll have to see if Red White goes back to Zhongli to protect their Chiori, or do they let Chiori be defeated and the Rain of Stone is gone?
I mean, you gotta think about it, like, this Chiori is fully ready to go with a burst. Oh, we will just do both. Protect the Zhongli or protect the Chiori and the Zhongli by switching off and giving them the Georaz.
And in return, Dojabao plays Wanarana and attacks anyway.
Still attacks, but yeah, you do get an extra die here, regardless that you do want to catch, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's 1 dice catch into Wana.
Exactly. Now we see the end phase damage coming in. As Chiori does slowly heal up. But now the hot springs is pretty low on healing.
And the Vanarana also grabs the dice from the Tenacity. Gets extreme!
Oh my god, it's time. It has to be.
It's
might
not
not
time,
be,
actually.
It's not time. It's never time. But it's time. You know?
It's time even when it's not.
It's time even when it's not, exactly.
Yep. In fact, it is not the time for extreme in
a while. Okay, well, Soup come down with 2 Maos. I still have no idea what their options are. This one doesn't have different pictures.
It appears to be the one that's Fury. Huh.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
we'll do this. Maybe a 5 cost, and then we can play another opera. Yep.
Hits for 4.
Big damage.
Big. That is very big. That went to Tenacity, so that was 6 total. Like, damn.
Yeah, and now it's a little spooky because what if they have a fast swap into this Chiori? You gotta protect yourself somehow.
And that somehow is through another Mystic Soup.
Yeah, exactly. Just threatening the option of having it is rough. The worst part is, though, I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, this is the day, right? Or is this the -2 damage?
Wait!
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Draw 2. Gets...
Is that the Arcane? That's the Arcane plus... Yeah, plus the food, but it doesn't matter. We get rid of it all.
Extreme!
Oh, my God. It's always time. It's always time. I think you just give your opponent better stuff. Like, significantly better stuff.
Yeah.
Like, game-winningly better stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of game-winning stuff right here in their hand.
Oh,
that's
my God.
2 moments, and I haven't lost yet. Like, that's way better.
Oh, my God. Another
the only
buddies.
The only thing you took away was the cow's arts, which would guarantee the petrify.
Oh my lord.
Like, don't get me wrong, taking away the petrify is good, but
But we might have some other issues coming down.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Well, now you can do 2 actions because you got 2 extra dice handed to you. So the only question is, how do you want to go about it?
yeah, like does Theory Burst win here? No.
So because of day plus the food, I'm pretty sure not.
Yeah, no.
Unless I'm seeing this wrong. So I'm not sure what Mystic Soup got. If it's the -2 damage and that goes first, then you could buddies, take that off, fast swap Chiori Burst, and that would take them out. I think.
Cannot buddies because there are no 2 summons.
Oh, you need 2, right? Never mind.
Yep.
I am lying. I am straight up lying. So most likely, yeah, you can't just finish them off right now. But a second soup coming down.
Yep, that soup's
maybe just to survive.
going to
Chiori.
Chiori.
It seems to be the lower cost. You might just fast swap Burst anyway.
Wait, is that another Fury?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, then that still does not kill, I think.
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
NA.
NA? Huh.
I mean, you can petrify if you really want to. Which, to be fair, is also probably just winning.
True. A lot of things are winning.
Yeah, you have a lot of lines here. Question is, how do you want to go about it? Petrify here into letting them get hit into Chiori Burst is an option. But how does that ever not work out for you? You know that entire hand. Oh, we're just gonna fast swap. But we... Oh, right. If this is the...
Oh! No.
Wait, no. I thought it was the lowering dice cost.
Yeah, that... It could be. Yeah, that could be.
I assume so. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
So we just tune and we burst.
Tune.
Oh, we skill. My bad.
Oh.
I lied.
Ah.
Eyes closed. This is going to do
Closed.
decent chunk
2,
at the
3,
end
3.
phase.
That's 8 damage, so that would leave Corin Theory, Corin Cloran at 1.
Yeah.
But
she's gonna go
Cloran
up
is
to...
no longer current.
She's going to heal a lot. And then she does have day, so that's going to lower the amount of damage, but then you have to deal with the petrify. And can you deal with the petrify? Losing the Chiori is a lot of damage loss, though.
Oh, and here's the 1v1 scenario. And Zhongli has managed to get his petrify up.
Yeah, and when that's ready, it's just rough. Plus the damage coming in from this. You're down to 5. You will get a shield go up to 7. You didn't draw any healing food, but you don't need to spend dice next round on actions, so that countdown is actually quite nice.
And Red White goes first. So that means that Zhongli will just immediately from the start of the round just snapshot.
The bigger problem is your dice, though. But you will just tune 4, or tune 3, play 1.
Tune 2. Yeah, tune 2. Wait.
Oh. Oh, buddies. Wait. Wait.
It's fine. Just
Hold.
tune 2 and then burst.
Tune 2 and burst.
Yeah. Burst
and
is like 4 or something.
Bonk. 4 game.
5.
It's 5.
Yeah,
because of his own thing.
4 plus 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
4 plus 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Zhongli. And that is game 3, or rather game 4, but win 3 for Red Y. Oh, nice. Good games indeed.
And that means Taobao will be going back home with 12th place prize or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. Even going back home, you still do get prizes, so that is quite nice. But we will be seeing more of Red Y definitely in the tournament. But for now, Doshibao will head off with some nice money and some nice extra cards from our sponsor.
Yep. From our sponsor, ShiningSoul. And I have a small prize, gift prize of 160 Chinese yuan.
Exactly, exactly. And now, with that being done, that's the overmatch, and we will be moving on to the winner's bracket.
So, I believe that Dojabao versus Red Y means that Red Y will be going up to face against Chamberlain and Papaya Tofu. Whoever wins that will be... Yep. So next up, we'll be seeing Air versus Magical Girl Teriri in the winner's bracket semi-final.
Exactly, exactly. And unfortunately, you don't have to be sad because whoever loses that will have more chances to get through and get some of those nice prizes and some of the nice extra stuff anyway. But it's still nice to see who is going to fight it out and who is going to go completely undefeated into the winners finals. And then will they actually be able to make it through the whole thing?
Yep. And as a matter of fact, I do believe we have seen like the new cards for the next patch of Genius Invocation TCG. Like
We've been shown a bit.
Yep. You have discussed with Art before. Have you?
I see. I could not tell you. I would not be there. I would not be aware. But the thing is, let's make some wild predictions, shall we, with no intel. Do you think, in finals, the winner, like the person who came from the winner's bracket is going to win the whole thing? Or the person who came from losers?
In typical fashion, I would bet on the winner. Though, it is a matter of fact that the losers bracket has been taking the champion a surprising lot during like the history of Genius Invocation.
Yeah, we saw this in a lot of tournaments where the person from the winners has to immediately play in finals again, and then they immediately lose, and then they have to play again through losers bracket. So that's make them have a bit of a harder time than someone who just came from losers, because you're already in that mindset of like, every game is a way to go out. I'm ready to go out anyway. Might as well give it my best, instead of having it just slip away. So that is a little bit rough. We shall definitely see how it plays out here.
Right. With that being said, we will be heading into a break. Everyone, we will be seeing you. So do not go away and wait for us at the end of this break.
Yep. We'll see you in a minute, guys. Hope you get some nice refreshing drinks. Bye bye.
滅びの災いと呼ぶにふさわしいわ。終わりなき苦痛と消えることのない呪い。
だからよそ者なんて信用するなって言ったんじゃないか。
そして救世主の誕生。
運命の初期はついに役目を果たしたの。アビス教団の名は知ってたが、これほど大規模で広範囲な動きを見せるのは初めてだ。まるでナタ相手に戦争を仕掛けようとしてるような。
宇宙船スリープポット？まさかお前がテイラットに来た時に乗ってた宇宙船のことか？
この数ヶ月の間で42の星が消えた。何者かがずうずうしくもこの世界から吸い取っているのだ。
災いはいつか必ず訪れる。みんなもそう言ってるわ。
彼女の存在を無視し続けたらいつか本当に彼女の声が聞こえなくなってしまうからね。
すぐそこにいるじゃない。
お前の魂は欠けていて、傷口にはアビスに侵食された跡が見られる。アビスの力の使い方を学ぶつもりもないのなら、私が代わりに調べるしかない。 に着せ、この手に烈空、星々よ静かに眠れ。
はじめまして、私はダリア。セピロス教会の女祭で風神バルバトスの伝道師です。面白くなってきた。風神様のお告げです。
私の夜はここで終わる。だがお前の旅はまだまだ続く。
お前は私の師匠極悪鬼スルトロッチを知っているのだろう。
戦線は総崩れだ。
真っ向の剣ダインスレイブ、これがお前の望んだことか。
お兄ちゃんはいつも運命を変えようとしてる。でも今回は何としても止めてみせる。
よくやったスカート。今回も生き残れたか。
今もなお運命の食器は動いているのか。
なぜお前が鈍性のクジラの剣能を持っている。
するとロッチ
経緯などとうの昔に消え去った。貴様の傲慢さと邪悪さに気づいた時にな。
500年前にお兄ちゃんと再会する機会を逃すわけにはいかないから。
いずれ本物の宇宙に帰るだろう。
旅の終点で2人の新たな始まりが待ってる。
Nodcry, an ever-changing landscape of ruin, a marvel corroded by time. In the forest, where the nights were once undisturbed save for a few rays of moonlight, the wild hunt's shadow grows. There are those who bear the name of Frost Moon, living where the silver light shines. Others carry the torch, fending off the darkness and cold with their blades. I hear that the snow and fae still yearn for the frosts of old, while the Fatui look to the stars above, trying in vain to seize the false firmament. Then there are the nights, draped in the west wind, nearing the end of a long and arduous mission. My friends, of course, shan't be outdone. They will no doubt bring a magical charm to this edge of the world. And just as the stone craves the sculptor's hand, so does fate await your gaze. Pour me another cup of tea, if you'd be so kind. The story is about to begin.
“当群星低语，当夜幕垂落，命运的轮盘已悄然转动。 八面灵头折射智慧锋芒，牌中事件在掌心翻动。盾羽毛在星河下碰撞，元素交织成战略的罗网。这里没有注定的败者，唯有将星辰轨迹铭刻于卡背的译者。准备好掷出命运的骰子了吗？
ウィンドブルーム祭の本番がもうすぐ始まるぞ。早く見に行こうぜ。
どう？よかったでしょ？
旅人いらっしゃい。シバルマラン AA ランドファミリーに加わる準備はできた？グルメ系 AA に出てくるみたいな超豪華なご飯も欲しいぜ。
両選手、準備ができたようですね。それではホテルドゥボール特別料理対決開始。
カトラリーの準備も完了。冷凍の時間よ。最高の一品よ。
とにかくそこのレストランからナタ産の野菜を至急調達したいと依頼を受けて、僕とイファが来ることになったんだ。
俺は付き添いでな。
さあ行くぞ。おっと逃がすかよ。
月始めの3日間、飛行物を連れて外出してはいけないらしい。
参ったな。
ここは昔レムリア時代に建てられた公衆浴場で、確かモデストの秘典に書いてあったような気がするわ。
真の偉大なり蛮族滅びよ。
古竜の時代の謎の遺物、それに。
Alright, so welcome back to the AstraNox Invitational. I'm Summation, and I'm joined by Fufu.
Hello, hi. Hope you guys didn't miss us too much in the meantime.
Yep, that match was exhilarating. I can't believe we get to cast 2 matches of such quality in such a short amount of time. But before we get to the exciting stuff, let us talk about the sponsor. First and foremost, this tournament is sponsored by ShiningSoul. All adventurers and duelists know that the second set of the ShiningSoul Genshin GITCG TCG cards are now officially on sale. My friends, you shall be able to purchase the brand new in-stock cards at the official Genshin Impact stores or ShiningSoul official stores on Taobao. Collect your Genius Invocation TCG cards, gather your deck, gather your friends, and let the duels begin. AstraNox Invitational is exclusively sponsored by ShiningSoul. Right.
Hey, yippee, cards. I love cards.
Yep.
They're so nice and
Cards
tasty.
indeed. Right. For those who weren't here for the start of the show, what is the AstraNox Invitational, my friend?
Well, as you can see, we have had already 2 qualifiers that you might have missed or you might have enjoyed all the way through, in which some of the best players who have ever played this game were pitted up against each other, and now we're in the elimination stage, where the top 12 who have advanced need to fight each other in a best-of-5 conquest format with bands. Now, how exactly does that work? Well, just in case you missed it, let's explain it one more time. Every player will bring 4 decks. Out of these 4 decks, your opponent gets to ban one, and then you need to win with every deck you brought. So, no slip-ups, no mistakes, and no, oh, I just wanted to bring this deck because I thought it would be fun. Every single one of your decks needs to be ready to beat anything your opponent might bring.
Yes, indeed. And if you brought your fun deck, better make sure it can win.
Exactly. Your tech might have to just be the best. The fun is not here. Here is where we put sweat, blood, and tears into our decks and our gameplay.
Yes. Right, as another review of our bracket, last time, Taobao has been defeated by Red Y 1-3 and has to go home with 160 Chinese yuan. Meanwhile, Red Y advances to losers bracket round 2, where he will fight the winner between Chamberlain and Papaya Tofu.
Exactly. But that's not where the fun ends, because now we are abruptly switching over to the winners bracket, when we will be watching Magical Girl Telili against Air himself. Both of these players have gone through the winners bracket and are not ready to go down by any means. So, how do you feel about these?
They are the winners of their respective brackets, and we can definitely see that the opponents that they have defeated thus far are not weaklings at the slightest.
Exactly. Everyone's here and everyone's gotten here by beating some really good opponents, and some of people's favorites or the players that people expected to just breeze through this are already out of the tournament, and it's just really rough. It's not easy. Anything can happen when everyone's playing at a really high level. Just sometimes it's the dice, and sometimes you were just not ready for what your opponent had in store for you, and that is just how it goes.
Indeed, some of your fan favorites might have been defeated already. Right, as for the prize money, these folks are at the top of their game, so at best, at the absolute worst, they may receive the 5th to 6th place prize of 480 Chinese yuan, or maybe the 7th to 8th prize of 320 yuan. But most likely, they'll be receiving the 4th, 2nd, or 1st prize of up to 3,200 Chinese yuan.
Exactly. It's no small money, it's no small bets, but besides the money, they're also going to get some nice, shiny ShiningSoul real-life TCG stuff, so they can get all of their friends addicted and have everyone play together and get some nice sleeves and dice. Oh my god, there's so much goodies in here. So, just outside of money, you also get some nice trinkets to remember how well you performed in the tournament.
Yes. Meanwhile, it appears that our players have begun their process of banning the decks. And
we're slowly gonna get see who brought what and who banned what.
Indeed. Right. Meanwhile, who do you think will win?
It's hard to tell. Both of these players I have at least heard of or seen some gameplay, and they do know what they're doing. Now the thing is, what I'm also interested in is that we have kind of seen a mix so far between players who brought only the standard deck and also brought at least one deck that they just seem to be the only one piloting, or the one deck that they seem to believe in. So I'm quite interested to see if there is some personal picks here, or if we will be seeing the same decks we've been seeing floating around.
And I believe that we must simply take note of the players' introductions before we can make a more accurate judgment. So if you please,
that is true.
Let us be familiarized with Air, whose
And
favorite
that's
deck
Air.
is Shenhe Superconduct. Air is the first place in GITCG ratings on Season 5 and the version 4.5 GITCG Asia Major Champion, and the King Cup first and second series champion, and is planning to leave a mark on this tournament.
Exactly. Air might not often leave a mark, but he sure will. He will break that notion, and you can see these are some impressive results he has gotten. Now, will we see Shanghai SC in this tournament? Probably not. But
Heck no.
maybe I can pray to see it.
And let us be introduced to Air's opponent, Magical Girl Terry. If you please.
Who is also a champion in version 5.1 and also a top 4 player in the Resonance Cup in the version 5.5, but also started playing in 3.3, so, you know, there is also some experience there's some readiness, but you can see how even few patches in between, and as the meta shifts, it's not just a fluke that these people do well. They understand what they're doing, they know what to bring to the table, and they get how it's supposed to go down. Now, the best part of all of it is the fact that they love GITCG and it brings them pure joy. Because sometimes you are up against that one opponent who is playing stall and you're in round 14 and you're wondering why life is the way it is. But this person could not care less. They understand that the joys come through hardship and they will play to their best no matter what.
Well, their favorite deck happens to be stall, so I think they're having fun on their own.
Oh my. Well, we do see the matchups, and honestly, very similar to what we saw last time. Actually, the exact same decks. There is no way we see the exact same bans. Oh, close, but not quite.
Instead, we see the Hu Tao deck being banned immediately. I suppose the comeback factor was too strong for Air to, leave alone, to say the least.
Yeah, Air saw what happened last time, was like, yep, that's too much healing, that's too much stuff, that's too much everything, I don't want to deal with it. Get me out, please, thank you.
Honestly, I'm personally... If I was playing, I would not be bringing that Cloran deck. I would be bringing Air's lineup, but instead of Cloran, it would be the Hu Tao deck.
Oh, I see. Well, that is quite interesting. But we will see how it performs later, because now they're also trying to push Xinyan and see what she can go through and what she cannot. So we will see this matchup come down. Senoras on both sides, but performing, honestly, very different roles.
Right, let's see the deck list then. The Xinyan deck is honestly the standard as always.
Exactly, the 2 arcanes coming down based on your matchup. Do you need the extra protection for Xinyan, or are you going to take that extra damage coming down from Sacred Flame? It's a good question, and honestly, just having both is fine, because you don't need your hand anyway, you don't care.
Right, on the other hand, we also have the Senora Zhongli Jiori deck with 2 talents and 1 Yamkasaurus.
Yamka, yoink.
That is interesting indeed. In the age of extreme, there are still players playing Yamkasaurus.
Exactly. Some people are just not going to the extreme of playing extreme, and instead they're like, that expensive card you got there looks quite tasty. I think I'll get it myself. Oh, is that Zhongli talent? Mine. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it's Yamkasaurus against a deck that doesn't really have a hand.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not gonna get to do much with it. And we cannot even talk about the funny line of giving your opponent 10 cards with Extreme, because Yamka does not give. Yamka just yoinks.
Yeah, when Yamka just joins and does not give, the fact that Xinyan doesn't play with much cards in hand actually comes back to bite them, because when Yamka steals something, it is very, very impactful.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're just kind of hoping that the cards they do steal are not the ones you want, but there is stuff that it can steal that is just a bit unfortunate. Like, if they take Liu, for example, like, Liu in the opener is so good, but because everything you play is so low cost, Liu can actually be your highest cost card, and then you have to deal with that. But we're about to find out, because we're about to jump into the game, and we see the mulligans coming down. Let's
All
see
zero
what's going on.
costs on
Oh
Air's
my.
hand.
Oh my, oh my. And we see, oh, both talents will be gained by having one in hand, but unfortunately no Storm Terror to take advantage of the one dice reduction later on, which is probably
Unfortunate.
fine.
And also no Youngosaurus, though I do not believe that is much needed in this case regardless.
Okay, but you could steal the Sacred Flame.
Hmm.
Thoughts? Imagine. It's not going to happen, because I assume they're just going to slam it down, but imagine.
Yeah. Oh, they did keep Sacred Flame, huh?
Yeah, they will probably immediately play it along with the Jade Chamber. I kind of forgot about it, but yeah, this deck just will run Jade Chamber because extra dice is indeed nice.
Yeah.
Now, will we see the strategies being played? Probably. Yeah, that's coming down. A lot of zero costs that don't actually do that much for you, but yeah, you'll probably just deal with it.
Do you play Cetaria?
Probably not. You want to skill... So, without Liu, do you still want to skill twice? Like, it's kind of the line you have to take. So you'll probably just tune to skill twice, swap to... Or you could skill twice and then just Vana, catch the one die, or even Cetaria, the way you said it, and then just wait to try to see if you can get Leo in the following round.
Yeah, or you could also swap Signora.
You could, but also look at this. 2 Storm Terrors showed up. Hello, good day.
Hello, good day.
We have Storm Terrors now, I guess. It's time. Now you can't play both of them. You can't play one of them, but you can if you go Chiori, yep. And that's the way we are headed. We will try to get some of that going. This Opera we can keep hidden because our opponent's not really going to equip anything that's worth any value regardless, so this will be fine.
It will be fine.
It's fine. What are they gonna do? Yomkas? No.
Fair.
Hopefully not. Please don't.
Alright. Tunes both, Vana.
Oh, so yeah, it is Cetaria coming down probably. Or just a swap. Depends on how they want to go about it. Opera for some extra dice later, and Chiori talent.
Yep.
Eyes closed? Follow up? Oh, we hit both. Okay. We will do eyes closed. We will get that extra damage. It's always quite nice.
Yep. And Air now has the option. Either way, Air will play J Chamber and Sacred Flame. And you have to decide between Cetaria and switching to Xinyan immediately. I believe staying to Yai is probably more wise. Nope. Switches to Xinyan.
We will just head there and we will try to get there soon as possible. Putting this down, unfortunately, the Sacred Flame even work for us here? Don't they do more damage than we do? No, it's even, but we start with +1. Yeah. Exactly, but we start with +1 because it's our card played, so we will be A-okay. And we will get to proc it. Nice.
At least for now, yes. Though I do not believe there is a good chance that the Rain of Stone would be dealing more damage than the Xinyan deck. Sometimes it happens, you know.
Yeah, we could see it. Maybe a round or two they could take it away and then lose it again, but we'll have to see how it comes about. Now, follow-up? Follow-up is right there. We get the follow-up though, and we are ready.
J Chamber is discarded at the start of the action phase to give 1 Omni to Air, alongside the 2 right-aligned dice.
So now
I
I can see you normal attacking here. Just to not give them the free swap. No, we will take the extra damage onto Chiori. That's fair. That's very valid. Because now Chiori is actually really in range of getting taken out by the piercing damage.
Rift Revolution, yes. The piercing
Exactly.
damage.
But what they don't know is that we have the food to completely mitigate it. No, Yamka!
Yeah, Yamka's
No.
gone because now Xinyan doesn't have a hand.
Yeah, now you
Ooh,
don't
full
lose
up.
it.
That's almost.
Oh, that
done.
is so scary, but still, you will be a-okay. Now you have a lot of damage to deal back. Chiori
Nope,
gets
that
so much healing.
5 HP Hot Spring. So now Chiori's out of range.
Oh, and a free swap anyway, headed off to Signora to tank most of the damage. Will probably get herself flipped, but honestly, this deck could not care less because Crystallize is Crystallize. She's gonna get booped off?
Yeah, she's gonna flip at 1 HP.
Yep. And Xinyan goes
Xinyan down.
And then, who will take the rest of the damage? Who is brave enough?
Something about Xinyan's deck is that we haven't really seen what happens when Xinyan gets down, has it?
Yeah, she always gets her burst. They will always set up so that they can set up their burst on time, and then the extra pyro is just a lot. And now the question is, who do you go to? That is interesting.
I think you... Huh. That is very interesting. Like, yeah, I guess you could go Yae, and at the start of the next round, you just burst and see everything go well.
Yeah, exactly. We have seen these players hold the Yae burst for a really long time just to get as much value from her summons as possible. But we might just see it go immediately unless they plan on doing some maneuvering by swapping to Signora. We'll see what dice they get. Oh, the dice are quite good for this.
Yeah, 6 Electro for air.
Exactly. 3 Electro, 3 Omni, and 1 Cryo is quite nice. Oh, but a fast swap.
Fast swap.
Oh!
All the way to Senora, and normal attack for the
a simple
coordinated
normal
attack.
For the follow-up.
And
oh my
Yai is gone.
Oh no.
The freaking turn order priority managed to completely destroy air on that one.
Exactly. And the extra damage is just gone, and everything you had is gone, and your opponent gets extra damage from the Sacred Flame next turn. Oh my god, this is going to be rough. Now, okay, so one Señora's kill does kill here, which is nice. But then you're about to take a full Chiori burst, and you have nothing to do about it. And if they also have protection, you can't even kill in a singular hit. And then you're just 1 against 2 with nothing left to help you, and it's really rough. Oh, choosing to reroll dice because you could have gambled on... Yeah, toss-up is a bit of a gamble, just because it could give you nothing, or it could give you almost perfect dice, you know? It's called skill.
Yeah, it's called skill, alright?
It's called skill, thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just roll better.
Roll better. Oh.
And the burst chunking her down immediately as a response. Now, you have your res, and the breakpoints work out almost the way you want them to. Because there are no eyes closed dolls, you should actually be able to survive everything. But it's immediately looking rough.
Yeah, after this, if Señora's skill, then Terry ends the round, and next round, Zhongli will just go in and destroy the final Senora, who has most likely flipped.
Yep, Senora is going to flip. Zhongli is going to get a shield in the meantime, probably. Oh, we just pass. We catch Prio for ourselves. We take down the Chiori, But also the Sacred Flame is very stacked for the Zhongli side. An extra die here for an extra attack. Does that actually make the breakpoints work? I believe it
Yes.
does.
It Yes, it does. It does.
It should kill her.
It now destroys the Senora through the revive.
Yep. Because of the 3 attacks you have, you're just ready, so you can't just go here for it. Your opponent already passed. There's nothing they can do. And we see the tune. Oh, and you can do a 5 cost actually because of the 2 Storm Terrors, gaining yourself more shields. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
That is just brutal. And yeah, you can revive, but you can't revive enough to deal with all of these summons. And yep.
If only there was a card that allows you to revive multiple times.
Perfect. Okay, well, congratulations to Telly. Well done. And that is game 1.
Yep.
Zhongli showing how they do it.
Yeah. Showing why Xinyan is in the answer for every single problem in life.
But it's gotta be. I love playing with no cards. It's so fun. You don't have to think about it. You know, all these other decks are like, oh, should I play this? No, I have no hand. I don't mind. I click button, I am happy. Oh yeah, that was a quick and rapid game 1, but now with Zhongli out of the picture, your opponent has a lot of tools, and you do have this Kachina. Now, what are we gonna see? Are we going to see Telly trying to push this this Chlorand through once again, and are we going to see a Chlorand mirror match for the second time today?
I mean, the Chlorand mirror match can certainly happen again. Like the rest of the things. Look, it's basically just the mirror of last time. There's the Zhongli Gokomi, there's the Xinyan, there's the Chlorand, and on the opposing side there's the Kajinavia and there's the Chlorand. So we could see the same thing as what happened last time.
Yeah, if you break it down, the only swap here is that this time Zhongli didn't get banned and Hu Tao didn't win. So those two just swapped roles, but basically we're seeing exactly what we saw just a second ago. And yeah, now it's the same decision that the player had last time. Now, what was the conclusion from it last time? I believe it was Xinyan into Chlorand. So we shall see if that's how it goes once again, or if this time there's some different plays to be made.
Oh, it appears that we are diverging into a different timeline today.
Oh, we're going to see something new and interesting. Oh,
it is Kachina.
Kachina on one side having to fight against... Okay, well, this is what we were predicting last time. Now it's happening.
It was predicted Kachina versus Xinyan face-off.
Exactly. We're about to see it go, and we're about to see... This is the first time we're seeing the matchup, because Kachina didn't even get to do anything last time, so... Now, it's time to see how it plays out. What are your thoughts on it?
Right. Kajinavia with 2 copies of Kachina talent and 1 Navia talent. That's pretty standard. There's the low-cost artifacts and action cards, as well as the 2 Dawn Venery for the swap stall. Both Soros Crackers and the Abundant Phlogiston for the Kachina trolling style, which they're both low cost and they give ready availability to Kachina's Turbo Trolling. Overall, it's a very solid deck.
Exactly. And compared to the last one we saw, this time we see the low cost artifacts, only 1 Gamblers, only 1 Navia talent. Fast swaps make sense and stuff like that. Dawn Winery will just slow the pace down a little against these slower decks, making you able to maneuver around it and see what you can do. But yeah, as you said, fairly standardized and fairly common stuff to be playing.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that goes double for Air's Xinyan deck, which is basically exactly the same as our good friend. Who was it? I
played it
believe it
last
was
time?
Redwise. Redwise, yeah, right?
Exactly. I think so. I think so. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can see it here. It's the same as before. This time the arcanes might be swapping around though, because can you actually keep up with Katrina's damage?
Well, they both have similar damage, but what is more polarizing would be the action count.
Exactly. And Katrina can be quite unpredictable with how many times she can go in a round. Your opponent can always get their attacks out of nowhere, completely unexpected. So it might be a bit of a gamble to play the arcane.
Not just that, but Xinyan here does not have any copies of Dawn Winery, which is of course expected, but it also goes double for the action count economy, because the lack of the swap stall, like Xinyan doesn't swap stall from the onset, and against Katrina the action economy goes even harder.
Exactly. And so we're probably going to see the more defensive and more less risky play of playing the other arcane, but we're about to see exactly what they're thinking as we jump into the molds.
Yep.
And see exactly what's coming down.
Right. Absolutely keeping the Day of Resistance, ditching away the Sacred Flame, because you do not play Sacred Flame against an Atlan character. Everybody knows that.
Exactly. They're too ready. They've been there before. Nothing you can do about it.
I have played these games before.
Exactly. They're way readier than you are. Her entire arc was about it, so I'm pretty sure Katrina is very familiar with it, so let's not deal with that. Let's just be ready, be safe, and deal with the damage that's coming in.
Yep.
While we set up our own burst and set up our own... Like, in comparison, Xinyan does kind of feel like mid-rangey into what we're about to see, because the Katrina deck is so aggressive and goes in so much.
Yeah. It kind of makes sense, actually, why you would play Day of Resistance against an Atlan character. Because Day of Resistance is like toppling down the king, you know?
Exactly. It's time to take them down. Oh my god, the dice. Oh my god.
Though
And
Terry
somehow...
Yeah. Terry is starting with Katrina and not Linny.
Interesting. Are we just going to sit on Katrina and do everything Katrina wants? It's very possible.
Yeah, because like Terry anticipated the Yae double elemental skills, so Katrina can technically just swirl without any trouble here. And also deals piercing to the Xinyan.
Yeah, exactly. Spreading that damage around with no downsides to yourself just makes it so much easier, and your opponent is just trying to set up their stuff, so they're not going to fight you on it. Now, the unfortunate part for air is there are actually no ways to float one, so you do actually have to do something. Katrina is just probably going to keep going here and keep attacking.
Yep. Air decides to switch to Senora to take the damage away from the Xinyan.
Exactly. We want to keep our arcane, we don't want to pre-use it, but... Oh, we might be going Linny or Navia.
We apparently are going Navia, my friend.
Okay.
I think it's to like go Navia and then immediately go Linny and then elemental skill.
Yeah, that's probably the way we're going about it. We're just trying to move a bit. Not let them be able to move around it, but yeah, we go Linny now. We get this going. Yeah.
Oh, another covering as Brilliance could technically play again and then drop arrow for another draw.
Yeah, but we might not see that happen. This is more draw overall. Although, yeah, you're also setting it up for board princess when you get it and stuff like that. You're just accepting this. But this is going to be a nice crystallize into setting up Pyro on her anyway. And honestly, it's going to get her quite low.
Yep.
Yeah, she is in range of Linny's skill now. Thankfully for Xinyan, she does get that shield every time she goes about it, but... Oof, there are certain card combos here that could actually take her out.
Right, we will be waiting for the feed to round 2 of the game, where the mulligans are seemingly pretty decent for both.
I don't know if Telly's dice are actually what they want them to be. It does seem 3 Omni are fine, but everything else is a bit rough.
Yeah.
They here to protect, yeah, you need that. Probably gonna skill. The problem is no extra. Actually, you have you have gladiators, so you can do 3 actions. You can get your burst out here before you get taken out. Problem is, how scared are you of Navia?
In general, you're not really scared of Navia. She's just there to be the finisher.
Exactly, but you're about to overload straight onto her, and then you do give her a crystallize. You get these 2 shields. So technically, your effective HP into a singular attack right now is 7. And Navia would need 3 bullets to take you out. So you are actually A-okay.
Nope.
Oh, the Navia
Instead,
talent. Okay.
grabs the Navia talent.
Oh,
Plays
boy.
Door. Goes into Navia talent. Elemental skill. Puts 3 into deck and draws back 2.
So now you know you're in lethal range. And how do you actually get 3 actions out here?
If you saw earlier, Magical Girl Terry played Boar Princess, which means that those artifacts on their hand will be coming down anytime soon now.
Exactly. And the fact that you saw that means you're very scared of another action here. And it just requires 1 dice to do it, so you know what's coming down. And you know that
Yeah.
it's not going to look great for you. Oh, but we NA
Yes.
anyway. Oof.
But anyway, that might cost them. That might cost them.
Yeah, the
Right?
artifacts coming down, swapping on Linny. We're gonna tune 2 and probably
Tune
just
2.
skill to take them out.
Tunes both
Oh.
Saurus Crackers. I guess Kachina's not gonna throw today.
Katrina's not eating today. Unfortunate,
Right.
but we do get this. We can get 1 extra die here from equipping the golden troops, which, to be fair, by themselves are quite nice. And we kind of want to anyway. The only
At
question
this
is, how do we
point,
want to go about it?
you have to switch to Kachina. Apparently, Kachina is now the tank.
Wait, are we going to see the arcane come down here and we just keep going? It will cost us a lot of stuff in our hand, but we could do it. Or are we just going to see some simple equipping and passing? We could also see equipping both golden troops, playing the Woven, and then skilling. But
Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yes,
that's probably the way of going about it. But the bigger problem is 2 dice and you have to float. It's just, it's rough all around.
Oh, place it immediately.
Okay, I mean, it kind of gives you the same order. Yeah, we're going to see this. We're going to get an extra dice.
And gets
then we're going to do this. Yep.
Now it's trolling time.
Yep, and a bonk.
Yep. Even in an unfortunate situation where Kachina is kind of suboptimal, her damage efficiency is still like the biggest in the game.
Exactly. Now, the interaction with Board Princess is... did we spend it twice? We spent it twice already, so we don't get anything out of it. Yeah, losing the technique does not actually help us. But the question is, do you swap or do you just punch? You don't really want to lose Linny, do you?
We're just gonna punch. I think you just punch until Kachina is gone. Because Navi is online, and like Navi is so online, like jeez.
Yeah, Navia is getting extra bullets, has bullets, is ready to shoot, like, my god. And this way you keep the elements kind of locked into what they are. Except, you're always ready for the Signora to just get the reaction here, but there's not much you can do about that.
Right. So that would mean that you kind of need favorable dice to play something except Kachina.
Okay, Air technically having that extra die or extra roll due to Favonius and also being able to use toss-up at any point gives them that extra feed, but we also got another bullet. Yeah, this is always coming down, obviously. Do we go to Linny now?
No.
We do not?
I do not believe we do. I think we sacrifice Kachina. Oh,
Nope. We are headed to Linny.
Okay. What's the idea here?
So I assume the idea being is just neutralizing your opponent's damage is the way I was thinking about it. If they normal attack here, they need an extra die to do anything. If they use any of the bursts, that's a waste of a burst on a 1-cost Lenny. The question is, what are they going to respond with? If they go Miko, you're happy because your Lenny gets another action. So they both have to neutralize Lenny and cannot neutralize him in a way that's satisfying.
Fair. Right, so normal attack on Linny, and Linny is down. Navia comes out.
Navia coming out, 2-cost skill, flipping Signora over. Calling the bluff of having an extra die. We don't believe in it, we don't buy it. You don't have a way to generate anything here. And we are just gonna go. Oh, 2 nice bullets coming down. Navia can NA into skill here. It will make them down to 1 HP. The other option that's a lot simpler actually is to just bullet. And then punch.
Bullet. Punch.
Yeah, just bullet punch. Bullet, can you bullet go Kachina do something? Bullet, Kachina. Skill and Kachina have 2 extra dice. You could. That's also an option. You have a lot of stuff you can do here.
You could also Elemental Burst.
You could. That is also very much an option. It depends on what your opponent does here. They do have the option to swap. So
Yeah,
it is.
You don't have enough right aligned dice to do that, but it is an option.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's kind of fun because they are actually an exact lethal to Yaibers, but yeah, it's not happening.
Yep, they're both in lethal range of each other.
Yeah, this is like very simple lethal lines. Well, we shall see how it goes. We will draw first.
Yeah, it's no longer lethal.
We shall see. Who is getting
that Mystic Soup? The soup will definitely go to Navia. Now let's see if they get the discount.
What did we get? We got some extra healing. Okay. We can work with it. The extra die back.
Draws another Mystic Soup.
I mean, bullet here is probably the fastest way of going about it. Oh? Are we not going to? We are thinking about it. You can bullet attack, you can bullet go to Kachina, skill, and punch. Like, you have options. You can do a lot of stuff here. Oh, 1 bullet's gone. We burst.
1 bullet for the Elemental Burst. Elemental Burst effect grants back 1 bullet.
Exactly. Keeping the soup and the thing. We could tune 1 and then, what's it called?
And now I think the line is you simply go to Kachina and wait.
You could. That's very much an option. But we will tune 1 and give ourselves a Geo Res. Which will be taken down by this, but then we are out of range of Miko. Kachina barely surviving on a 1 HP, but it's probably all we need. That 1 HP could come down to be exactly the difference maker here.
I still do not know. Right. Because if switch Kachina, then Kachina falls here. And then you have to gamble with Navia again. I still think it's a misplay, but not one so serious as to like be game changing.
Yeah, we're about to see what's gonna come down here. Miko burst, putting us in serious peril for this Navia who will just shoot.
Yep,
And
just shoot and win.
Just shoot and win. I gotta think about it too much.
Teddy wins game 2.
Kachina takes it down, so yeah, in the alternate universe, I guess Kachina just wins it. That damage incoming was just so much, and it did so... It stopped the game plan of Xinyan so fast.
and there was just not much you could do about it.
Yep. And with the win ticket being spent, the final hurdle is getting Clorand over the finish line.
If I see a mirror right here, right now, which I might just, it's
right
fine.
Here,
it's
right
okay.
now?
That's fine. No, please.
Emerge.
No, right here, right now, emerge. Yes, play Miko. I agree.
Yep,
Let's just get Miko. Yep, and let's just see that happen.
Yeah, the remaining 2 decks are all stall.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So since we were watching it happen, I mean, Zhongli is just pretty nice into Clorand, so I assume Air is quite confident in that matchup. It's just about pushing Xinyan through it and giving her a way to just deal with this Clorand, which we saw her do last time. So it's not by any means an unwinnable matchup. It just depends on how the players feel about it, because if you are Air, you might want your hardest matchup to be right here. You're already losing, you've accepted that part, so now you go for your hardest matchup to clear it as a hurdle, because this is the time where your opponent is going to be feeling the most confident, the most relaxed, the easiest time for them to make a mistake out of carelessness. And then you can put that pressure on them to try to win.
And as for game 3, I believe our players' picks have been decided. Terry is of course going to play the only remaining deck against Xinyan.
Okay, it's time. Let's see how this one plays out this time. So yeah, definitely getting your hardest matchup out of the way, and then if you can do that, you can make a comeback. But if not, it's just, we call it a day. So let's see how this looks different from others.
Yet again, another Yamkasaurus, though this time also accompanied by an Indaneo Extreme.
Exactly, so now you can just steal and give them cards. And you're up against a deck that has no cards, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, though I must point out that though your Yamkasaurus does also give your opponent 1 card, it is still only 1 card.
Yeah, it's not really going to clog them up, and because then you're not giving them your cards, they can't really clog them up, because Xinyan just plays cards that will never clog them up anyway. So it is quite nice. Precision. Oh my god. I can't, man. I thought I was doing so well too.
You were.
I was trying my best, I promise.
Yeah.
Well, this time around, the Sacred Flame is going to be doing what it was always doing. You're not scared of their damage being higher than yours, and you don't mind it. You just want those +1 damages, weapon for every character, and yeah.
Yeah, that's all she wrote then.
Exactly, your gameplay is very simple. It's called Top Deck Liu. I mean, it's called get your strategy going.
Yeah, it's called Hot Deck Liu.
Just getting Liu is so nice. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, unfortunate part is because of 2 arcanes, it does lower your odds of getting it, but honestly, mulling your hand just to get him is never not an option.
Though, call me biased, but I really like Cetaria. I do not like how many people just slot them into the deck and then just neglect her.
Yeah, she gets neglected quite often. In here, I assume the whole strategy is you do need to spend that 1 die on round 1, because you do want to skill twice on Miko and then swap to Xinyan. And then you have 1 die floating. So you have Vana to clear that, you have Cetaria to clear that, you have Liu to clear that, and you have Strategize. All of these very much do make it work. It's just about getting at least 1 of them.
Fair. In which case, I guess Cetaria does work as that 1 die spender.
Yeah, exactly. It's just anything. You could also do Willow. I guess Willow is also an option.
Oh yeah, but Willow also takes you out of 2-card range, while Cetaria doesn't.
Exactly. The whole idea is, if you're playing Willow, you need to make sure you can get those dice. flowing right back. But oh my god, we opened Liu.
Yep,
Oh
open Liu.
joys.
Liu
We
and
didn't even need
double
to do it yet.
and double troop at that. And
Oh.
Fav and Wanarana.
We kept the controlled blast though as the Claren player. That is going to
It's
be
fine.
interesting.
Control directional blast works when your opponent's support and summon zone totals 4. So in very extreme cases, it could work. Not the extreme as in the name of the extreme, but
well, as you can see it, along with the Sacred Flame and everything else, the support zone is going to be filled up immediately by your opponent. But the thing is, like, how much do we even do? It does make an interesting breakpoint to stop Miko's summon at a certain point from being good. But outside of that, it is a bit rough.
yeah, it does kind of stop the 4 usage threshold. Seriously, who gave her that? Who gave her that to Electro? I want to speak with the manager.
I have some questions. I would like to know. To be fair, Control Blast, getting it at the exact point where Miko seems like she wants to burst, which can often be when it only has 1 usage, could definitely work.
Yeah, I've only seen it at 2 so far, but I guess if at 1, then yeah, it just loses like 3 damage on her burst.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah, you get rid of the other one. And the reason why players would want to do it later is because they lose less damage by doing so. So, yep. Here's the extra damage, plus 6 usages.
Though, speaking of Liu, it appears that Air has now tuned them away.
No! I guess we're just keeping 1 extra dice. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense because your opponent is not going to be doing much for a while.
Fair. And you really want to ramp up as much damage as possible before they got all their pieces out and start blasting you.
Exactly. Those extra dice helping you just get extra damage instead of extra energy is just the way you want to go about it.
Yeah, because eventually that Sacred Flame is going to favor Territory. And when that happens, that Chlorand is going to look mighty dangerous.
Exactly. But for now, we are just going to do it. Now, you can't really dodge this, I don't believe. You kind of have to play into exactly Lore Master getting her burst out, which is scary, but it is the way you want to go about it.
Yeah.
Plus 1 die here, and bonk.
Yep, has to play your entire hand before even thinking of Sinyan's elemental skill. And that's why all 30 cards of Air's deck is so easy to play.
Exactly, because anything you don't play is just going straight into the ether, and you don't really want that. Oh, a close fight, but both will get their bursts off. There's no way to stop it exactly. Tada here, giving us 1 extra draw just before she goes out regardless, because this will do 4 damage due to the Sacred Flame anyway, so you might as well get some cards out of it.
Yep. Right, and Terry is now burst ready with the Scorching Lore Master.
Exactly, getting that plus 1 energy from being hit means that realistically, no matter how much damage you do, she is always going to get her burst right on cue.
Yup, that 1 free energy has actually come up quite a lot even from the moment that she got released. It's just that her burst just kinda sucked back then.
Yeah, exactly. There was no good spot for it, so now it's working better.
Yeah,
now we
it's
found a slot for it.
Working so well. Like, she's even appearing in actual matches and stuff. Like, this is her mainstay. This is her hole. This is her place to be.
Exactly. She's found a place and she's not getting rid of it. What are we tuning? We're tuning the second TOTM. That does make sense. We don't even necessarily care for it that much. But Lord Master has handed her talent card to us and we can use it whenever. But she will be going down. Well done, soldier. You did great.
Oh, I had not noticed this yet, but it appears that Airside has somehow obtained the Cold Desert card back.
Oh, that is true. Look at that. Those
Yeah,
are quite nice.
Yep, they are playing on the Chinese server, so obtaining these are actually possible there.
Yeah. That is nice. That is nice.
Yep, I'm jealous.
We get one dice back from Mao. We got our Clorand a bit safer. And we're just gonna store some dice. And next round, it's Clorand against the world.
Yep. Truly.
Scorpion comes down just in case.
Mm.
And yeah.
Though it must be said that Lo-Fi hasn't appeared yet.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. The free swap to Clorand is nice, but if you could top deck Lo-Fi and the what's it called? The Golden House right here, you would be very happy. But that's a bit far-fetched. So let's just get Lo-Fi. Oh my god,
oh my god. There it
is. It's
is.
just that easy, folks.
Yep. It's all skill, baby.
It's just that easy. When you want it, you want it. When you get it, you get it.
Right, and 6 Electro at that. That Clorand is definitely gonna be blasting. Now the question is, will she survive?
Coming down now. No Liu does mean that Signora's gonna have a harder time getting her burst out. But outside of that, it should be pretty free. You do have a follow-up pyro attack, you have cryo to put on her, you have a whole Miko burst. Unless your opponent sneakily takes it away, Day is coming down to further dissuade your opponent from using that Miko burst early because it's -2 damage for this round. But the next round, the blast will just take it out and you've lost so much damage.
Right, there's the damage down barrier food from Mystic Soup. So that's a lot of barriers, I gotta say.
Exactly. A lot to chew through this round if you're going to take her out, but she is ready to go.
Yep, with that elemental burst now finally creating the ... on the status screen, which immediately gets destroyed as TOTM is removed. Unfortunately, it does not get the dice.
Yeah, Overload is the pure enemy of TOTM as you get no dice back. But the swap straight back to Clorand. We will not be dissuaded by this. We will keep going. It is time to pop off.
The dice robbery will not be dissuaded.
We will not accept this. This is disrespectful to the TOTM that we had to spend 3 dice putting on. Please attack us now. Thank you.
Yep. And no, we will not be taking tourist tax returns.
Exactly. Yep. Now it is time to fight. Now, unfortunately, Air only has really one action here, and you gotta choose carefully what you want to do, because whoever you go to is going to take a decent chunk from a Clorand with full dice ready, and who's about to be fully geared up. Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, simple normal attack.
Yeah, simple normal attack coming down, and the big issue here being that how do you deal with this? And how do you deal with the fact that she's likely to also get Sacred Flame going for her now?
Yeah, that's definitely Sacred Flame going to her. With all that they have resistance and barrier effects, now there is literally nothing that connected to Clorand, as you can see from the 1 stack on that Sacred Flame.
Exactly, and now, oh my god, the damage is coming down. Now, yeah, the dice breakdown, or exactly the HP breakdown here is a bit awkward, but you can also leave Signora right here. Exactly the way you want her. You can even, you can just let yourself get overloaded, you don't mind. You're going to heal all of this up.
You don't mind at all. Well, maybe you mind, because now the Signora's gonna be placing a dot on Sijuin.
Yeah, but Sijuin going down is totally a-okay with us, and this Control Blast might be getting exactly the value it wanted to.
Ooh.
the plan from the start.
Yeah, you're right. The Yai summon is at like 1 usage.
Oh my god. The big
Bro-
damage takedown.
Bro predicted it.
He saw it coming. He opened the hand and understood exactly what needed to be done and decided to be the one to do it. Oh no. Let's see how it plays out now. Dice on both sides looking interesting. Yeah, Air has to make the decision of what to keep and what to get. Now getting the cryo at a bad time, unfortunately, because yeah, you're about to flip and now you're an overload deck. Yeah, not being able to spread that cryo around is quite unfortunate, but overload is a good reaction. So you could work it out here.
Yep.
We might see an instant swap to Miko, to be fair.
If that happens, then Control Blast will be coming out immediately.
Yeah, Control Blast will come down and we'll probably just go Claren and we will probably just keep attacking. Unless you don't want to, like, you still always Control Blast, but then you can go Claren and if they try to reset the summon for the extra damage, because it is, if you think about it, it's 3 damage for 3 dice, then you could just swap back to Siege Arena and now you're in a good spot.
Ooh.
So it's a bit rough on what exactly you want to do here. You do have 10 dice there, you have a lot of options, but your opponent has so many ways of generating them that are already on the field that, yeah, we see the Miko swap. Miko swap into Blast, Claren swap, and now, yeah, it's coming down.
Yep. There's Blast. The tech
exactly
card.
as it's been foretold. Oh no.
You have been struck with the gift of prophecy.
Oh no. I also want to point out my favorite part of this board state is the +1 damage on Siege Ring from Sacred Flame. I would like for everyone to take a note of that one.
Yeah. Would have loved for that to be on Claren instead.
You would love for it to be, but Siege Ring is now buffed up for this round. She is going to go absolutely crazy with them NAs, I guess. Yeah, they do this anyway, and now you can just... Oh, you go in anyway. Oh, you don't care. You don't mind at all. You're probably going to take the first hit on Claren, then swap Siege Ring, take the second hit, and then just kill. One would assume so. Just locking your opponent into fighting you. Oh, they skilled...
That's double skill.
But we still don't care. We're still going. Now maybe even assuming that it's a massive waste to actually do Miko Burst from this spot.
Yeah.
You might be expecting something like a Xinyan swap?
Xinyan swap's probably not a good idea still.
No, they go for it anyway. It's probably one of the only things you can do.
Yeah, the dice kind of forced it.
Yeah, the dice force you. The spot is just not nice. Maybe just getting the full value out of the Xinyan.
Yeah.
The Xinyan skill is fine.
Yep.
Putting the aura on, getting everything going, because Burst does not do much and it gets you rid of your hand, which, for what it's worth, you're not too attached to, but still. To be fair, this still dodges TOTM in a funny way, so that's something. But still, this is looking rough. This Claren is built to last. Yeah, the skill coming down, the healing coming up. Oh my god, so much damage. So much everything. And the full just plan going down to the controlled blast. Oh no.
And like, look at that. The Claren's now at 13 max HP.
Yep. Exactly. And she gets an extra die. She can do another attack, which will give her an extra die, which will get her to swap to Siege Reed, who unfortunately I think will go down before she gets the Sacred Flame buff again. So that is unfortunate. I really
It's
wanted
fine.
to see it.
That means the Sacred Flame buff will go to Claren.
Yeah, but it's funnier on Siege Reed.
Fair.
No, wait. It's going to Siege Reed. It's going to Siege Reed. Yes!
Oh my! It's going to
Yes! The droids! I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
This is everything I wanted in life.
It's because Air's gonna go first. So the Citrines need to stay alive to take the hit. Yep, there's Mulligan. And Air's turn to move, which is gonna be the last round of the match. And the last round of tonight. Let us witness.
Let us see the Miko burst into Signora, try to take out this completely geared and ready to go raid boss. Oof. Now the question comes down to how exactly you want to do this. Is there any line that does enough damage for this Florent to go down? Is the real question.
I do not believe there's any.
I'm trying to look at it, and going Signora trying to be tricky with it could just result in Sijuin killing her, and then you're in the exact same spot where you were. And you are so low on HP they don't even need the extra dice. So the only line I see that doesn't immediately lose is just this, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to see Citrine normal attack 3 times.
It would have been good. It would have been so good. But unfortunately, I think it's the raid boss's time to shine. And she's about to go off. Now, she will take a decent chunk here, actually. Oh, we are drawing more. We're getting more stuff here. The Lotus coming down, playing it. So, yeah, Mao gives us back the dice. And now we're pretty protected against everything. Oh my god, the 3 healing.
Yep.
It's just not enough. No matter what you do, it's not enough. The skill, yeah, minus 0 because
0.
Oh my god. And she is not oh my god, this Scorpion to finish.
Oh my lord, well done, well played.
Clean game, 3 zeros. It's a sweep from Maho Shoujo Teriri.
Let's go! Woo! Clean cut, clean win. Well played, well done. Quite impressive. Well, Air understood that, yeah, this matchup was probably what it was going to come down to. So instead of just moving it around, this is probably the time you do it. And then, you know,
it was still a valiant effort. Like, it looks like this, but when you break down Conquest format, it always comes down in these types of ways, where it will either be make or break on one of the rounds. And the players understand that, so they know what their strategies are and what the important round will be.
Yeah, like in this case, it's Xinyan that's the weak point. Like, Xinyan's gotten rather out of the meta these days. Even with the Yai buffs, like the Yai buffs can fit more in certain other decks, and Xinyan just doesn't do enough damage anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we did see it win last time, so it's not that it loses all the time, but here it was definitely the weak point, and it definitely just could not push through, which was unfortunate, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and yeah. I mean, still, yeah, giving... what's it called? Giving... What is when you recognize someone doing something correctly? Giving... I cannot speak English. It's fine. Props, giving props to Air. He understood exactly what he needed to do and what his wins and matchups were. Like, again, it looks worse than it actually is, because he just played his weak deck into the stronger decks, and if he was able to push it through, then you definitely can make a comeback.
Yeah, and the nature of Conquest format is that no matter what, you eventually have to get that weak deck into winning somehow. So some players might get the mentality that they might as well start with their weak deck first, and then they'll get results like this.
Exactly, and it's not necessarily wrong, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look. It isn't wrong. It just looks bad. But like,
Yeah.
everyone who plays Conquest knows that there's a lot of effort that goes behind that 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just understand that the weakest deck needs as many chances as it can get to win this. And sometimes it turns out the way it looks like this, but yeah, it definitely could have swung either way up until the very end.
Yep. For today's results, we witness Taobao losing to Red Y 1-3 on losers bracket round 1, as well as Air losing to Maho Shoujo Teriri 0-3 on a sweep in the winners bracket semifinals.
Yeah, exactly. But we will not be losing out on Air because Air is now moved to the losers and they definitely have a chance to make it all the way back and win the entire thing. So do stay tuned for that.
Yep, do stay tuned. Taobao, meanwhile, has already gone home. For tomorrow's preview, first we will be seeing Chamberlain versus Papaya Tofu. And then, on the winners brackets other semifinal, we'll be seeing Oli Crane versus Elaine.
So yeah, tomorrow we will also be seeing one contestant go home, and we will be seeing one contestant getting knocked to losers, but also seeing the winners is much easier to keep track of who is going to be fighting who, because you will just see that the winner of tomorrow will be fighting Teriri again, and we will see how that plays out. And then you immediately know that they're in the finals. Then you have to see the complex web that is happening in the losers bracket where people are constantly coming in, and there's only so many opponents and only so many things to do.
Yep. Air and the losers between Oli Crane and Elina will go to losers bracket round 3.
Exactly, where they have to deal with Injagi, Loom 1000, Red Y, and whoever wins tomorrow between Chamberlain and Papaya Tofu.
Yep. Right. Do stay tuned, however, because we are live all week from the Monday of 9th, which is yesterday, all the way to the next Sunday. We will be broadcasting the AstraNox Invitational for everyone.
Exactly. You can find us right here on the YouTube channel. You can find the Japanese cast on the JP YouTube channel, and you can find the CN cast on Bilibili, so you do have as many options as you want. Of course, we will also be posting the updates on Twitter, and you can keep track and know exactly what's coming down through that.
Gee, Kachina's quite the troublemaker, isn't she?
Yeah, banned or winning all the time, doing quite well.
Yep, banned or winning or not even played. It's just
Not
that her
even
friends keep losing.
Oh my god. Well, sometimes the team just is like that, and you just accept it that, yeah, you don't get a chance to shine. Your team just either wins or loses before you get to do anything. So
Yeah. It reminds me of her Archon quest where her team ends up disqualifying while she goes on to become the champion.
Oh my god. It's actually just that. It's actually just that in TCG playing out. I can see it. Holy, you're so right. Oh my lord. Well, regardless, I hope that everyone did enjoy these games and had a good time as much as we did, because we are not close to being done. We have so many more matches throughout the entire week for all of you to watch and see who is going to be the champion.
Yes, I'm Summation.
I'm Fufu.
And we bid you all farewell for tonight.
Bye bye.
まさに